And welcome aboard here to Tallahassee Live here on Real Talk Radio and streaming here on TLHsoccerclub.com. Thank you for joining us here on what hopefully is an exciting evening of soccer. We have a fantastic matchup between our own Tallahassee Soccer Club and, of course, the visitors over from just outside Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Making a long trek are the Southern States Soccer Club Stars, as they are known. Of course, if you're not familiar with the league or familiar with the operation we have going on here, this is a local hometown broadcast here. So if you're joining us from Hattiesburg or elsewhere, keep in mind this is a TSC prepared, this is a TSC organized broadcast. So keep that in mind. But we're going to have some fun with it, try to keep it a little professional here. But we're going to try to add some excitement and bring you a fantastic ball game here in the Gulf Coast Conference here of the National Premier Soccer League. Of course, like we were saying in the introduction, if you're unfamiliar with the teams at hand, here you have the scrappy bunch here, the local Tallahassee Soccer Club Battle Lions against one of the classes of the league here, the big-time, high-profile Southern States Soccer Club here. Of course, a big-money club coming in here for the NPSL Gulf Coast Conference with a lot of high-profile players here. So they are one of the league villains, if you're not familiar with the league at hand here. And so it will be an interesting affair, but this will be a David and Goliath matchup here this evening. Should be a fantastic affair for the Battle Lions in Southern States. Last year, it was, of course, dominated here by Southern States, these two matchups, as we take a gander at the results. And it says previous results versus the Roots, but that, of course, is Southern States. The numbers are accurate. Of course, Southern States, the last time they came to the Gene, a 3-0 victory for them going away. But then later in the season, TSC gave Southern States all they could handle out in Mississippi. That was a 1-0 contest in that result. So TSC all-time, because they hadn't played Southern States until last year, of course, all-time TSC has never gotten a result against Southern States and has never scored. So potentially some history in the making here for this young club in just their fourth year, here in their third year of play. Of course, the COVID year, of course, wiping everything out for everybody. But looking to make some headway here, as we talked about, for one of the top teams of the table from a season ago. Of course, we look at the 21 table here. You can see Southern States Soccer Club finished third in the regular season, TSC with a 7th-place finish. But Southern States in the postseason would go on to win here in the conference. Of course, they would go on the road, defeat Pensacola, and then in a no-contest championship game, which they were scheduled to play New Orleans. Of course, COVID issues and a number of other things. They never actually did play the championship game, so Southern States went ahead and advanced as the representative of the Gulf Coast Conference. And they went on to win a couple more games. I believe they got to the Elite Eight of the National Premier Soccer League nationwide, and so they were given an invite to the U.S. Open Cup, which, of course, is the dream for all these lower-level leagues here in the U.S. soccer pyramid. Of course, the NPSL, depending on your source, you're probably looking at a fourth level here of the table, MLS, of course, being the top, and then you have the USL Championship and USL 2 and all those other leagues. NISA in the mix. Who knows how to classify NISA these days? But we have some former NISA players in the mix here, which we will get to a little later. So this will be a high-tested battle. This is TSC. They're going to get a big test, of course. You talk about TSC coming into this one, so that's last year's table, right? Well, let's take a look at this year's current table. So you can see the top four currently identical. A lot of the same looks coming out here for so far this year, as most teams only with 2 or 3 matches in the book here, but looking very, very similar to what we saw a season ago finish. So Southern State's, of course, 2 games in, finishing at 1-1 so far. Of course, they played the regular season champs from last year, Jacksonville, on the road. Jacksonville took care of them 2-0. On the other side, they hosted New Orleans. New Orleans finishing 4th in the league last year, and they smoked New Orleans last week. That game was never competitive. Watched that one a couple times from the Southern State stream, 4-0. Of course, their former New Orleans player that Southern State's poached from the Jesters, Mason Walsh, who is a dangerous beast on the left-hand side. We'll probably see him. We'll talk a little later about Mason Walsh, but he scored a first-minute goal on a little bit of a blunder to get them rolling. Southern State's never looked back. Like we said, defeated New Orleans 4-0 last week. TSC coming in still winless, but with a couple of results on the season. A team who knows how to tie ball games, something they did 4 times last year. But, of course, getting already 2 ties here early. So they are at the exact same point that they were last year. Of course, 2 points through 3 games. So going to have to chase some points here. Of course, they've got a big homestand, including tonight. They've got 3 straight home contests. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. Home game, home game, home game. Of course, Southern State's here today. The Roots and New Orleans on the docket for later in the month and the first week of June. So TSC, how did they get here? Week 1, the defending regular season champions, they tied Jacksonville. You see that T column over there for the Jacksonville Armada. Of course, TSC right here at the Gene, an exciting 2-2 tie against Jacksonville. Of course, TSC led that game twice. Of course, at 1-0 and 2-1 over Jacksonville. And a late penalty would tie that game up to get it to a 2-2. And TSC held on for a good result. The week after that, they went on to the road to play the Roots. Of course, the Roots is a young squad on the rise. And TSC, just a rough game against the Roots 2 weeks ago. Dropped it on the road 4-2. Roots led by 3 goals 2 times, up 3-0 and 4-1. TSC battling back in that one to get a little bit more of a comfortable result and save that -2 goal differential, which will be huge going forward. So we want to keep an eye on that, and TSC got to take care of the goal differential, as we assume that the league is going to be pretty tight, especially when you look at that 4 through 6, 4 through 7 spots in the table. Things are going to get really crowded for that last playoff spot. So that was TSC first 2 weeks. And, of course, last week here at the Gene, once again, a tie of Pensacola. Here, the second year in a row, we've tied Pensacola in their opening fixture. That was a 1-1 tie. TSC coming from behind in that contest, getting a nice goal by Johnny Fitzgerald in the 69th minute. Of course, late penalty kick save by new goalkeeper this year, Bosco Perry, preserved the 1-1 draw, and so able to come away with a point. So when you look at it, of course, we referenced the top 2 teams from last year. If last year is equal to this year, TSC, you talk about the 2 points, but on level pegging with both of the top 2 teams from last year. So take that as much as you want to. A lot of change in this league. Of course, if you notice, there's no golf port this year. Of course, that franchise has folded as far as the NPSL is concerned, so we do not see them. So we are down to a 7-team league. So it's going to be a fight to the finish and a great regular season to try to get after. Of course, you look for that elusive number here that we're searching for the playoffs, the postseason here for Tallahassee Soccer Club and for playoff teams here in the National Premier Soccer League. So over the summer, in the off season, we were looking for some trends. We were looking for some patterns. And so we did a sample size of 2 years here in the NPSL, and we went nationwide for leagues of 7 or more teams at a 90 to 95% success rate, low to mid 90s, a team that averages 1.4 points per game, because, like it or not, the NPSL is on a points per game basis. So you see that final column in the table, 1.4 points per game, 90 to 95% of the time, that team gets in. So what does that mean? You simulate that in a 12-game regular season, you're going to need 17 points throughout the season here to clinch a playoff position, a playoff spot. Of course, TSC currently sitting at 2. We're 25% of the way done this season, so TSC with some work to do. And you can see, if you were to simulate that out, you talk about teams needing 1.4 points per game, you'd be sitting right about that fourth line here, where New Orleans is currently at 1.5. So, pretty high clip of 17 will get you in. So TSC going to need to fight and try to make up some points here. So a tough battle, but you'd love to see a result from TSC to get them going here. Of course, we have the matters at hand. We talk about the high profile, the big high flying, big money club over from Hattiesburg. Of course, playing in the U.S. Open Cup here over this spring and representing the Gulf Coast Conference. So right now, they're the ones with the biggest target on their back, right? Everybody's hunting for them, and especially, of course, getting no love from New Orleans, Jacksonville, and some other teams where they have former players from, I'm sure. Of course, talked about Mason Walsh here coming over from New Orleans. But let's give you some players to watch. So as we talked about it, let's go ahead and get to, we like to call it behind enemy lines here. Of course, when we talk on the Tally SC Talk podcast, giving you the lowdown here on Tallahassee Soccer Club. So we have a segment we like to do before every game, talk about the opponent, right? What are you going to expect? What should you expect? So we've been giving you some big picture stuff, talk about the aura of the club, the success of the club, the investment in the club, the high-profile nature of Southern States. Of course, but what does that mean on the field? Let's take a little bit of the personnel going forward here. So here are some players to watch here for Southern Stars. We talked about it. Mason Walsh, he's been tearing it up this year. The offense really ran through him last week in that New Orleans game. Whether that is typical of Southern States this year, or they just wanted to emphasize it against New Orleans, or it was just a hot ticket going on. Of course, they wanted to give him some love, and he was just playing exceptionally well, but he was the jump starter of the offensive attack. He ended up scoring in the first minute. We talked about it, but any time that they're going off offensive spring, it seemed like 3/4 of the time it was starting on the left wing with Walsh, like we said, former Jesters player, and really exciting player to watch. He gave us fits when he was with New Orleans last year down here at the Gene. I remember specifically him on the left side as well, so he's a money player for them. And you can see first year with the Stars, and he scored last week. Another forward we should see, second year with the Stars, going to be Thomas Shepard. Of course, Cal State University Bakersfield man is Shepard. And we got the starting lineups here. Of course, this was the information we got here earlier in the week as we're trying to search forward. And he is a big-time threat for them. Also scored last week, 50-plus minute for him. And then he was also one of the goal scorers last year here at the Gene in that 3-0 win. He had some explosiveness and some finishing for Southern States. So let's keep it going down. So we talked about the offenders here, the forwards, the attacking presence. So let's talk about the back end of the defense here. Talk about Samuel Dadsy and Hakeem Reed. Of course, Hakeem Reed, a couple years ago in that Jacksonville Armada system. He went to University of West Florida. Of course, it seems like University of West Florida is quite the pipeline here for Gulf Coast Conference teams. So it'd be a interesting one to watch to continue to see UWF players. So he did not cross as far as attendance. He was out of school before our cousin Cy Fontenot was attending the UWF. So there was no crossover as far as a timeline here with him. But, of course, members of the same university, the D2 program over at UWF for the soccer team over there. And, of course, he had we talk about Reed, big goal against New Orleans last week, of course, off a corner. He's a big center back. Both him and Dadsy, 4 and 24. Reed usually wears number 4. Dadsy usually wearing 24. Of course, Dadsy going to be a reserve here today. But a big-time defender here, and Reed indeed will be wearing number 4, and Shepard is on the roster as well. He'll be a starter wearing number 20. So as we start to get the starting lineups here in for Southern States, we can kind of fill in the blanks of what our expectations were and then what we'll actually see on the field here. But both these men in the active roster, as were the previous 2. And then you keep on going. You talk about players here on the roster, ones to watch, ones to keep an eye on here for Southern States. And in goal, in between the pipes, is another successful man here. Is going to be Hector Kiko Rajeda. Of course, high-profile guy. He's athletic, got some good twitch. He really wasn't called upon against the game in New Orleans. Just a sound defensive effort, a suffocating midfield against the Jesters, and a solid backline effort. He was only called upon just a couple times, and he had a fantastic game so far this season versus New Orleans when he was called upon. That is, of course, high profile, currently playing for Chattanooga FC, who's now up in NISA. Second year with the Stars here, so he's coming back. Of course, reps with them last year. Also, Sacramento State University man, and no one else has stepped foot in between the pipes this season. He's played all 180 minutes, as you can see. And then, of course, a clean sheet against New Orleans last week. Did let up 2 against Jacksonville, though, as did we on the road. So it'll be interesting to see if we get the home version of Southern States or the away version. So we're, of course, hoping for that away version, but to be determined here. So we're going to jump out on a quick commercial break as we continue our pregame here. And so we'll be right on back with TSC Live here on 93.3 Real Talk Radio and streaming online, TLHsoccerclub.com. And already fantastic. Of course, the Young Actors Theater doing a fantastic job there in the national anthem. That is some local Tallahassee talent. So good to see it on the soccer field, not only playing, as I'm joined by my boy Joe Ward here, but also singing on the field. Joe, in a fantastic rendition. Third home game with a singer from the Young Actors Theater, and third slam dunk. Fantastic performance, Joe.
Absolutely.
So it's a great way to get things started. Of course, Joe, to catch those up, Southern States, Tallahassee SC. If you're just joining us here for Tallahassee Live here, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Of course, my boy Joe Ward filling in for the pregame. Joe, we'll catch you back in. You're going to keep the numbers for us on the books here tonight, so we're excited to hear your numbers input at halftime. But we're going to get things going here shortly. Of course, our buddy Trent Young going to jump into the booth here in just a second. But, Joe, this is a big one. This is arguably the top dog in the conference. This is the big bad. This is the league villain. This is a big money club who's bringing in players. They're poaching other teams, and they're going to be a high-quality, high-funded, attacking team, of course. They're going to try to burn you on the counterattack, really want to control possession. TSC, the old scrappy heartthrobs of the city, will have their hands full against a high-profile Southern States club here, and so it'll be a very interesting affair. But, Joe, we talked about it all season long, man. The homestand, you got to get points while you can, but this is going to be the toughest team this month that they will have to try and earn some points up against.
Exactly. They come highly regarded. They're supposed to be the lead dog in this league. It's going to be big time important. Tallahassee comes out with something tonight. Even if it's a tie, that's going to be a major win.
Absolutely. Because this is monumental, man. This is a team that played the Birmingham Legion, a really high-profile team in the USL, of course, in the Open Cup Championship. And these are our boys here for TSC. Just want to put a feeler out. We do have a couple changes to the roster here, Joe. Of course, our big midfielder team captain, Johnny Fitzgerald, woke up sick this morning, as did Drew Daunt, one of our solid defenders, plays over at Belmont Abbey. Also, injury update, Bennett Mitchell will be a no-go for us this week. So these are all things that came to light this morning, Joe. So what they worked on in practice, we will not be seeing those schematics being played out on the field. This will be a new venture here for TSC, and so they'll try to put it together on the run against arguably the pace of the league here for Southern States.
It's next man up.
There you go.
It's the ones that's going to replace the players that's not going to play tonight. This is their time. Their time to shine. They got to step to the plate.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, Tallahassee's got to come out with something tonight. Even if it's a tie, it's a win.
Absolutely.
Here, because of what happened in Panama City, they got to come out with points now. Because you got to start thinking down the road here from this point on. So this is a very pivotal game right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So right before we get things going, as the officials get organized, we're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Come right back on the other side here. It's TSC Live on Real Talk Radio and streaming here on TLHsoccer.com. We're going to jump out for a quick break. Come right on back. Okay, you're good.
Cousin Cy, we love that here at TSC.
Absolutely. So, of course, TSC going to be going to left to right. They got the home goals back here, Trent. Of course, we saw the Whites. They broke out the visiting Whites here last week. But good to see the home goals back here. Southern States, of course, coming on the attack. They're going to be in the all-reds going right to left here. Of course, kind of their alternate uniforms. We've seen them in the traditional kind of black uniforms, Trent, here. But incorporating the white ones out here, or excuse me, the red ones out here this season as we get things rocking and rolling here.
Yeah, those look pretty clean. Something like a Liverpool or a United, Arsenal, something like that. So pretty slick jerseys there for Southern States.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, we got a late arrival to the party as far as the Southern States roster here. So we're going to be trying to get that incorporated and get that updated as the game goes. But we know number 11, Trent, we talked about him in the pregame. Of course, Mason Walsh down there. No stranger to the program, no stranger to TSC.
No, sir.
Of course, here this season, the former New Orleans man, he's going to be given threats down here the near side. Sliding effort, Southern States into the box, looking for a cross on the ground, and this one's going to be poke free here defensively. That's a good jump through. Ryan Daunt here, Trent, a little bit of a surprise. Did not expect to see him tonight, but
We'll take
happy to do so. And happy to see him aboard here. We thought he was going to be off and away. And if we could get a quarter going here for Southern States. Over on the near side, it's going to be an outswinger. The lefty wants to put this one on the ground about 20 yards out, squared over, and be trapped down. Little left-footed rip will go across, and it's going to be poke free. It looks like that's going to be Perez on the poke free there. As TSC tries to clear danger, a little bit of run out. Ryan Daunt here, 50 yards from goal, cuts it back against the grain, looking for some service as they go on the attack. Out to Perez, he's inside the box here for TSC. Trying to get it on his left foot, centering ball, hits off a defender, and will be spilled out, but it'll be an opportunity here for TSC on the attack, man, and you'll love to see the answer from TSC in this one.
Yeah, exciting play early on, Juke. Was real good play there from Daunt. And like you said, we weren't expecting him, and looks like it's him on the corner now.
Left foot is going to be an outswinger going to the near post. This one's won by Southern States. Robbins Pierre back in this one. He gets taken to ground, and Southern States looking to counter out into the perimeter. That's going to be Speedster over on the far side, trying to get inside the box, trying to get position in. Is Perez, who's able to shield the ball off and win TSC a goal kick, but a fantastic effort there for Perez.
Slow to get up there for Perez, but excellent shielding there. They're calling for a sub, unfortunately, or a trainer, I guess. We're not trying to jump to any conclusions here. They'll check him out first before we get any word on any substitutions. But, yeah, great shield there, and to see that out for a goal kick.
So try to get this one here rolling, but, yeah, medical staff over attending to, and it looks like Adrian Perez, number 17, here going for the left-hand side for TSC. Of course, a little bit of an interesting lineup, Trent. If you want to go through the starting lineup here, of course, we talked about the late changes here for TSC. Who do we have on the field here tonight?
Yeah, currently starting in goals, our man Bosco Perry between the pipes. Then we also have Juan Perez, number 2, Mike Zamore, number 3. We got Jack Chambers and San Robbins Pierre. Those are our 2 starting center backs. Cousin Cy, number 11, he's going to be your right mid. We've got Ryan Daunt, Corey Osgood. Looks like he's been playing up top thus far. Joey Peralta, kind of in that center defensive mid holding role. Adrian Perez, he was playing left back there for us on that play. And then we've also got Austin Lee starting, 22, holding down the midfield. So, yeah, Austin Lee making a lot of appearances early on thus far. And Perez looking like he's going to need some assistance getting off, unfortunately. So, seems like his day very well is going to be done. Had a couple players warming up here on the sideline for TSC. We'll see who Josh Bruno elects to bring in.
Absolutely. As we see here, of course, Coach having to encounter a number of decisions here in the early going trend. Of course, we talked about the late injuries and the illness here for Fitzgerald, who's a major part of the operation here for TSC, as well as Daunt. And so late changes in to the lineup here for TSC. But like Joe said in the pregame, it's the next man up, and let's get things going, man. It's a team that's a scrappy bunch, and, of course, like you said, in this league, there's always seeming to be things that pop up, things that come up here in semi-professional soccer. We had a couple weddings and a couple players missed last year, and we saw some different results here, of course. But that's what you do, man. You keep things going and keep the machine on truck. And Southern State's here winning out of on the fringe of the attacking third. A little friendly fire there for Southern State's trying to bring it off his Daunt. He's going to be chopped, and Southern State's will back in possession and look to slide it around here defensively. Service over the top, going to be won by Chambers. He'll be center back here tonight. Him and Rabbins-Pierre been lockdown center backs here for our contest. Trying to turn the corner. Chambers, a scrappy effort to pick the ball free. Well done. He's looking for some service out of the back. He's going to hit Osgood on the sideline, who's looking to get a turn here. He's dispossessed by Southern States, and this is the one thing to watch, Trent, is the suffocating midfield for the Southern State Stars. They'll look to collapse it. They want to win the ball back in the midfield, and then they're going to look to launch on the counterattack. That's how they shredded New Orleans last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just tell number 11 and number 7 thus far. Number 11, Mason Walsh, our New Orleans Jester player from last season, coming on over, played for them last year as they were making their run in the U.S. Open Cup. But, yeah, number 7 on the far side, I mean, he is a very technically gifted player. He really has a great touch and great vision on the ball. So, you know, match that with his great pace. We're going to have our work cut out over there on the left side. Mike Zamore now filling in for Perez.
Yep, it's going to be Murillo, number 7, here for Southern States, as we have Chambers. He's trying to find the exact blade of turf to settle that ball on and give it a ride. Of course, he's about 45 yards from goal as we're in the 9th minute of action. Here's some service over the top here for TSC as they look to try to play the long ball. Of course, it'll be tough against a squad who's got some big center backs. Here does Southern States. So we'll see what kind of success TSC has in that regard. But that is a specialty, and they like to get some cross-field service. Over on the far side, looking for Cousins' side, the big goal-scoring threat. Vanuk going to win the second ball. About 20 yards from frame, tries to chip it over the top, and it'll go back around inside with a sliding effort on the ground. And he'll try to get to it, and it'll be cycled out, and Southern State's looking to take over on the counterattack.
All right, so we see number 8 here with the ball. That's Adams playing it as an overlap to the right back. Looking at 7, he'll probably drop to. So number 7, that's Murillo, receives the ball. Mike Zamore with a good clearance out to almost midfield. And Christian Vanuk playing the ball down line over top. Hail Mary. And it reaches Cousins' side. Cousins' side, the attacking third. Man coming on, pressure. Loses the ball. And the ball cycled back to the center back and into the midfield for Southern States.
Absolutely. So they're going to turn back around here as they try to poke it through. It's going to be Jorge there, as would be number 22 on the possession for Southern States as they look to cycle it around. And like you said, Trent, this is a squad tactically want to try to swing it around, get you in possession, get you out of position, and then burn you here. That is not going to be, so we anticipate, at least from the film that we've seen and the study over Southern States over the last couple of years, a team that's going to have a choppy game like a TSC does. So a strict contrast of styles here. Centering ball on the ground, second one in the box. Joey P, desperation clearance, does well there. And this one's going to be served over the top. Osgood with a little pressure. We knew it was going to be a scrappy game, Trent. When you see Corey Osgood in the starting lineup, you know it's going to be a chippy, energetic bunch here, and it's going to be a fun contest out here. It's a great little takeaway here from Ryan Dawn. How about the youngster on the U19 squad stepping up here? Big moments for the senior team, and that's a challenge from behind there as it looks like, I believe it's Osgood on the far side, number 13, getting chopped down there. And Osgood's first start of the season here, Trent, getting some good early touches in the action. Good to see him back into the fold. We know he brings a nice, gritty, aggressive brand. Typically finds himself in the attacking portion of the field. As Peralta win this one, headed out to the exterior. Oh, good little move here from Daunt on the turn. Takeaway by Southern States as they look to switch sides of the field. Carr in possession, looking for Walsh. Vinuk and Fontenot try to go a little 1-2. Southern State's on the takeaway. Some service on the ground, and they're trying to get the through ball. Pierre, the defender, sliding effort, keeps it away from Walsh. This stretch, he used all of that 6'4" frame there, Trent, to make sure that one wasn't put in the danger zone.
Favorite part about Pierre on this back line, man, is that he knows exactly when to slide. He's not going to put this team in jeopardy. He's not going to potentially give another penalty kick up, make it 4 for 4, hopefully. He's going to pick his time when he needs to go for the ball, when he sees it, and he got it, man.
Absolutely. Lefty Harrison's going to come into the fold here for Southern States on the corner. Outswinger, towering, corner of the 6-yard box, going to be won by Pierre. He'll head it to the sideline. This one's going to be collected by Shepard. He was another man we talked about pregame. Fake there by Jorge is going to serve into the box on the back post, and the assistant referee has the old flag up, Trent.
Yeah, good call from the ref there. He was off by a couple of yards. Bosco Perry's trying to get the ball from the little man. He's wanting to play kickabout with Bosco Perry. I can't blame him. If I was the ball boy, I'd be doing the same thing. But, yeah, Bosco's looking to get that back in play and get this ball moving, man.
Absolutely. So Chambers, of course, is center back. He's going to be the left center back, looking for some service over the top to Daunt. Test his Southern State's back line here. Try to possess. There's some pressure from Osgood. Grajeda, as Osgood slides in here, that's going to be a foul as the aggressive Osgood. And Grajeda, the keeper here for Southern States, played every minute in goal for the Stars here so far this season. Heavy one coming from Osgood, and that's not atypical of the former Charles man. He's going to get after it. He's going to get aggressive, and he plays a physical attacking brand of football here for TSC on the old soccer pitch here. Fitting to see him play on a football field here, Trent. As I say, American football. You can see the white lines here.
Absolutely. And, that's exactly what you're going to get from Corey Osgood. And I think Josh Bruno definitely picked a better game to play him, because if he had pulled that off last week, that might have been a straight red with our officiating we had.
Oh, yeah, they were not taking any prisoners for that one as Osgood tries to flick on for Cuthers inside. And out of play, be back for the Southern Stars here as we're ready to leap forward into the 15th minute here on TSC Live on 93.3. So thanks to our buddies from Real Talk Radio, our new partners here for the 2022 NPSL season. High kick over the top, looking for Walsh. Vinuk bodying him, and lowers the shoulder, does Walsh on Vinuk. And the referee points to the shoulders as well, and the former New Orleans man, who will be a focal point of the offense, and we can see them targeting him a number of times already, Trent, going after him once again.
Yeah, it looks like they've got the two wingers, and they're just trying to funnel the ball in. Either they'll take it on the dribble one-on-one or try to look for the forward.
So looking for Osgood. This one's going to be poked free. Last touch by Hakeem Reed, one of the players we talked about pregame, Trent. Of course, your boy over from your rival high school, right?
Yeah, Fleming Island. He actually played in the 2016 season for the Armada U23 team, so he's been all over the place here in the league.
So some sprinklings from this Southern States collective here. A little bit of everybody from the Gulf Coast Conference. It's going to be a corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Vinuk here from the near side. This one's going to be a screamer looking for near posts. First and second header won by Southern States, and they'll look to clear as Carr takes care of business and will spill it back in play. Daunt collects it and is out over the fence over there on the far side, and it'll be a Southern States throw just on the fringe of the attacking third over there on the far side.
I love that header out from Daunt. He lets his whole defense get back, get set, and now we're able to have them drop the ball all the way back into our attacking third, their defensive third, and they've got to swing it all the way around.
A little pressure here from Cy, 11 on 11, as he goes after Walsh. And this one's going to be cleared out. Nice little slide coming here on the near side by Austin Lee. Of course, the Florida State man getting a lot of good minutes here for Lee this season. Really a nice element to this midfield that we've seen out of here, as Vinuk will take another throw in here for TSC, as this one's going to be poke free. And you can see once the ball gets in play, Southern State's the way they try to collapse and try to win it back immediately. They do want to dominate possession. That's their game, and especially in the their side of the field. They want to win it back as soon as possible. Throw in here coming for Southern States, looking for over the top. Joey P in there defensively. Some physicality here from Sans Pierre, but an easy fall to the turf there. That's Shepard, of course, one of the men we talked about as scoring threat here for Southern States, number 20.
A little chatter from Ravenspear after that. Smile on his face.
He does add some physicality to the center back, man. He's been a fun player to watch this year. Great that we got him on our side and not somebody else's side,
Amen.
Trent. He's a fun player. Saw him coming out of the locker room, gave him a good old handshake.
There you go.
Friendly man off the field, Trent, but not a friendly man on the field,
Yeah,
which is what you want. A lot of these TSC guys are warriors in between the black lines here, especially down at the Gene. We get into the 18th minute of action. Southern State's just on their side of midfield here. Carr with a free kick attempt. Looking for some service over the top. This one's going to be won well by Zamore. And it'll be Southern State's throw over on the far side. Look to get things rolling. We'll hold up. I believe that's Shepard who was trying to take the throw in. And now coming in for a little reinforcement. Potentially looking at a long throw here. I believe it's Marcano. I can't see the scoring sheet here, but I believe number 2, it was folded over. So we're going to say Marcano until we hear otherwise. This one's going to be a played across goal here, chested. It looks last touch by Walsh over here on the end line, and so Bosco will take it, scoop it on up here for a goal kick here on the near side.
I love the all pink kits, man. Those hot pink socks really pop too, and the all black gloves. Yeah, man, Bosco Perry.
Nice little new look uniforms here in 2022. Here, the 19th minute of action. Service over the top. Zamore with a nice winner out of the back. Daunt will collect. Pressure coming back, lower of the shoulder. Foul on Jorge here for TSC. So little Joey P trying to set this joker up quickly. Zamore will play it short here to Daunt. He goes up that far sideline. Of course, the U19 service over here to Austin Lee. And this will be poked free. 22 on 22. Jorge spill it out of play. And an opportunity for TSC to have a nice long throw over on this far side. They're going to play it short here. Osgood getting a little touch in here. Southern States will spill it out. And this is going to be dumped on over to the far side. Looking for a cutback here for Shepard. It's going to be Chambers guarding him. Sans Pierre will step up. They say play on. Referee doesn't want to see the flop. I don't either. Fontenot now spring-loading the TSC attack. He takes a shoulder here from the defender. It's going to be a sending ball to Danny Perez, and it's going to be won back by Southern States out of danger. But a nice little spill there for TSC going on the counterattack. Second header. One here by Vanuk. This one chested down by Osgood. Looking for some service. Can't chip the center back. Reed is going to be pretty hard to chip over the top here, Trent. And this one's going to be won here by Sans Pierre. And cleared up over the top by Austin Lee. Looking for Osgood. And the offside flag is up.
Good stuff from Corey Osgood. And, I mean, really good possession and play from both teams thus far, Juve. It's been a great match, and both teams are very hungry. You can tell they're coming out here hot, and they're wanting to get it going. So just really excited to be back out here. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it last week with that great tie and that draw we have from Johnny Fitzgerald, getting that goal to get it to 1-1. And then, obviously, the man, Bosco Perry, getting that huge save down the stretch on the penalty kick to keep it level. With TSC getting the draw, but ball played wide to Mason Walsh currently. Christian Vanuk in hot pursuit, called for offside, and his appeal is heard by the judge. So, Christian Vanuk. Oh, excuse me, I believe it's a throw-in. Forgive me. Christian Vanuk on the throw. Up to Corey Osgood.
Joey P with a nice little win there. Jorge looking to settle down for Southern States. Little flick over by Murillo. Brought down in the center. Now coming here near side. Service out to the winger, Walsh. He's got Murillo to his right. Walsh will go at near post. Bosco with an insurance dive. Let's go out of play. Out for a goal kick. Here, 22nd minute here for TSC.
Love that dive from Bosco. He didn't extend the hands. He knew exactly where his front post was. He dove there and his body was in the way of the front post, and so if it went, past him, it was a goal kick. So great stuff there from Bosco Perry.
So look to get reset here. And looks like Southern States wants to pressure this one if they think about going short. Nice little chip over the top, looking for Zamora. One back instantly here by Southern States. Marcano, service outside to the wing. Centering ball, a little too hot to handle. Looking for Walsh over on the near side here on the left-sided attack here for Southern States. Once again, out for a goal kick here for Bosco Perry. Like you said, Trent rocking that nice pink goalie kit here for the 2022 season. They make it in pink and they make it in black, but regardless of which color they break out, it is a clean-looking uniform. Of course, Grova Creative and the rest of the sponsors here for TSC putting together a beautiful package here as Rabins Pierre lowers the shoulder, and this one looks like it's going to be as Rabins Pierre is going to get a talking to. He's saying that the opponent's grabbing his arm when he comes through here. So it'll be a free kick just outside the box. And Joey P., I think he's got a good point. He said similar, something happened on the other side of the field. What happened with that?
Ooh, Joey P., you don't ever see him this heated up, man. He's really going at it. I hope he doesn't get a card.
So, of course, looking for a wall here, looking for see if Bosco wants to set anything up. Looks like Vanuck and Joey P. will stay here for the front side of it. Look like they're going two-man wall. And there you come in that positioning as Bosco sets him up. You got one free man. Looks like Shepard's free in the back as Chambers will go over and guard him. So now every man's got a body on him. And perfect positioning there for Chambers. And Sans Pierre, nice little defensive effort on Reed there inside the box. This one's going to be scooped away. Ryan Daunt chips it over the top. And Osgood, a little double trouble coming back here for Corey. And Southern States will poke it free and clear it out here. 24th minute of action now. Still scoreless here from the Gene Cox Stadium.
That was an incredible play from Reed. We'll go back in a second.
Good cut off there as Zamora takes that one out of the air. Southern States tried to get it started quickly, but Mike doing a great job over here on this left back side. Of course, the natural lefty. Good to have him back in the fold for his second season here with TSC.
Recent Flagler graduate.
Chipping over the top. Course here, looking for Cousin Cy. They bring this one down. Does Southern States. Looking to launch a little counter. Harrison will get things going. Once again, now Walsh, he's drifting towards the center of the field as Zamora wins this one, spills it out of play. About 30 yards from goal here.
It appears that he and Murillo have actually switched sides. Murillo came over a couple attacks ago, and
Southern State's in the box, shot on frame. Bosco at the near post scoops that one up for an insurance save here for Southern State, or excuse me, for TSC. Roll it out here. They're going to go short to Sans Pierre. Sans Rabins Pierre looking for a outlet here. Danny Perez. Nice little touch and turn there. Back to Joey P. Cycle it around the midfield. Taken away by Carr and Southern States. They have 6 players now, 40 to 50 yards from inside, 40 to 50 yards from goal. Now swinging out wide, it's Walsh, like you said, Trent on that right side now. Cuts back against the grain. Perez prodding foot in there. And a free kick awarded here to Southern States. It'll be about 25 yards from goal. Width-wise, it'll be just outside the 6-yard box, and this is a dangerous position here for Southern States. If you've got a confident free kick taker, Trent, they can have a swing at this one. Could also set up some kind of fancy set play here that you might see from the training ground. So it'd be interesting to see which way Southern States goes, but the way that the rest of the squad is lighting up, it looks like either Murillo or, is that Reed over there?
Yeah, I think they're going to shoot because Reed's not back post. He's standing over the ball.
Yeah, if it was going to be a service, you would have Reed in on there,
sure.
on the huddle here. So it's going to be Reed on the right side, Murillo number 7 here on the left. Lefty Reed wants a rip at it right at Bosco. Fantastic positioning there for the man in pink, and a save here for TSC in the 26th minute of action. Still 0-0 here from the south side of Tallahassee at Gene Cox Stadium. TSC largely playing a defensive showcase here as Cousin Cy wins this one. Vanuck looking for some service, trying to link up with Osgood. One back here by Harrison. Walsh now on the ball. Cousin Cy hounding him. Southern States look to serve over the top, looking for Mario on that right side. Mike, good cutoff here, wins the head ball. You like the calculated aggressiveness for TSC defensively here so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are in position on every single attack that Southern States has thrown at them. And, you know, we've had a couple of fouls that we've committed, but nothing too heinous, nothing too close to the goal, like the free kick last week from Pensacola. So, you know, that's always good.
So far, so good. There you go. Of course, this one throw into Jorge, looking to come centrally here for Southern States. Be squared off here to Harrison on the perimeter. Fontenot hounds him. Service in. That looks like Shepard. He's looking to turn. Try to get a quick little movement here, but Sans Pierre, Joey P. going to take that one away. Austin Lee picks the head up. Nice little turn, looking for some service. They put this one on the ground, looking for Fontenot. Heavy challenge from Walsh. He'll go on the counter attack here. Southern State's now 5 attackers here deep in TSC territory. Tried to thread through was Marcano, but once again, Mike, Big Mike with a solid early game performance so far here, 28th minute. Liking what Mike Samore's doing over on that left-hand side so far, Trent.
Yeah, he thrived there early last season when he was playing there for us, and very happy to have him back this year. And, man, he's cutting out passes left and right, either on the ground or with his head.
A little overlap here, looking for some service. Chambers up to the task, will spill it out. Try to settle it down. Fontenot will come back here defensively. And that's going to be the situation, is TSC is going to need all hands on deck here to help defensively, as it looks like they call a handball on Vanuk. He's talking to the referee, but Southern States wants to go. It's going to be spilled inside the frame, and some more with a nice sliding clearance into the grandstand here on the near side.
For a second, I thought one of us was going to have a chance to catch that through the window up here, man.
There you go. Southern States looks to go quick and short here on the throw. Back to Harrison. It was a Harrison car. Harrison link up, and this one will spill out of play, and looks like it'll be a TSC throw-in.
And you can tell Walsh is getting a little disgruntled over here. He's been calling for the ball, and, you know, he came over to this side, I guess, trying to get some more passes and being facilitated, but it's not happening. Christian Vanuk and the rest of the defense side, everybody's shutting him down. So good stuff early on.
He's getting a lot of leeway. He's really got the run of the land here for Southern States, Trent. We saw him on the left, all over the right-hand side, and now he's back on this left-hand side as Osgood. A couple good challenges, a couple good wins here for TSC. And how about your attacker coming back on the fringe of the attack and third, getting a big win? Tried to thread it through, and big hit laid on Daunt. Looks like they don't call a foul. They just say throw in. So Joey P says, all right, we'll take it. Get up and go. Osgood going to try to feed it over the top, looking for Danny Perez. And Rajeda coming off of his line to scoop that one in the air. First time that Rajeda has seriously been challenged here tonight, or having him make a crucial decision, Trent.
Yeah, no, that was a very good ball from Corey Osgood, just seconds after coming back and making 2 great sliding challenges. Neither of them, the ref pointed for an advantage, so all clean. So good stuff there from Osgood. Happy to see him out here tonight.
The 30th minute here, TSC and Southern States locked at 0s here in the opening half. Service over the top, looking for Walsh on the perimeter. Vanuk will scoop it, and the lefty spills it out here to the near-sided stands. It looks like not as high attendance as we had the last couple games, Trent. I think the weather and the prognosis here for the upcoming impending rain. So, you know, we probably got about 300 to 400 on hand. Borderline 1,000 the last previous 2 games. We were plus 900 against Jacksonville and over 800 last week against Pensacola. But a good turnout here given the weather conditions. Stormed here earlier. And it looks like the weather system's coming back around, a new berth. We've got some dangerous-looking clouds over here.
Certainly looming overhead, but it's holding off for now. We'll take it.
Another quarter kick here coming for Harrison and Southern States. He sets him up. Service going to be an outswinger, looking for that back of the 6-yard box.
Man.
And it'll be a last touch by Rabbins Pierre, so to be out for another Southern States corner, this time over on the far side.
He and Reed are going at it on every single set piece. He's appealing to the ref right now. There was one about 2 free kicks ago where Reed just hooked his arm and just did like a flop I saw on like the NBA playoffs the other night on TNT. So Wild stuff going on there.
So here we go, 32nd minute. Southern State's going to have another outswinger, this time from the right side. They got a three-man package on the back post about 8 yards out. They'll split. Perez will win the secondary header. Joey P in there for the third ball. Ryan Donald collected the feet and spill it over the top. And they say, Osgood, go get this one, big dog. A little hockey clearance here, and he's going to try to chase down the defender. He'll go backtrack against Rajeda. He was working a lot with his feet pregame, Trent. So I wonder if we're going to anticipate a lot of short stuff. Joey P slides in, a big takeaway here for TSC on the counterattack. Joey P will spill it out wide to Daunt, and a left-footed towering cross side in the area, but over the back line. But a nice win by Joey P and a quick counter in TSC. That's probably the best chance of the evening so far.
Absolutely. That was incredible vision from Joey P. Obviously, I could see the run back post from up here. I didn't know if he would, and then perfectly weighted pass. Don takes it first time. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it down. But, hey, man, great effort, great play there. Great build-up from TSC.
So thread this one through. Southern State's back on the ball here. Harrison out near side, looking for service over the top for Shepard on the fringe of the attack in third. This one gets through as he flicks it on to Walsh. He's getting into the 18 over on the far side. Back to Shepard. Quick trigger. It's going to be deflected by Lee. Chambers will win the deflection off the header. Walsh all over the back of Zamora. Finally gets called for the foul. And he looks down at the turf, looking continually frustrated as TSC will get a free kick out of the back.
Talking about NBA, that was over the back if I've ever seen it, man. He just straight up climbed the ladder and landed on him.
Yeah, it looks like Zamora had to box him out, man, trying to get that rebound.
Well, he was going to get it, and that's why he got jumped on.
There you go. 20 yards from goal, Bosco on the fringe of the 18 width-wise will launch it over the top. Osgood trying to flick it on. Here, he'll get it back to himself, over the top for Cy. He's battling Reed, left foot, and Grajeda's going to have to dive to his left and stretch out, and that is going to be in the book as a save. So a nice shot attempt there by Cy, and just something out of nothing. Osgood does a double flick on, and Cy battling the big Reed up top and holding his own. Great job to be able to get a shot attempt there. Joey P now with a big win. He's going to be stood up. Shepard, a sprawling effort for Austin Lee as he'll win the header, but Walsh will come away with this one. Joey P chopping at him, and Zamora getting a little play in there as well. Joey P touches it and is out of play, and it'll be a Southern State's throw-in here. 34th minute of action now.
Joey P, the aggressor, more times than not tonight. I'm really loving the energy he's playing with, coming out hot.
And that's the MO, right? TSC, you knew coming in, this was going to be a choppy game. This is a physical game. Because Southern States, they want to play a clean game. They want to play a counterattack. They want to hold possession. They want to make you pay. But they want to make it look good, right? So for the old-school soccer fan, Southern States is playing to your strength. TSC is playing an American, sloppy, knock-em-out style of soccer. And so any chance that they can disrupt Southern States, that's the way they want to do it. So if this one's choppy and this one's an ugly game, that is what TSC has wanted to do and trying the tone they're trying to establish here. Harrison, another corner kick here for Southern States. Outswinger coming here from the near side. Walsh checking two, looking for the short ball. This one goes over the top, and Zamora will flick this one over, but it'll be another Southern States corner. Shepard wants to take this one quickly. He looks over to Jorge, but Cy comes back to cover him, and so the threat will be dissolved, and Carr will go over to the corner, number 5 for Southern States, and try to give it a swing. Of course, Southern State's currently sitting at third in the table here, 1-1 on the season. TSC currently sitting at 6, 0-1-1 on frame. Bosco's going to have to come out and touch this one, and it hit the football upright, which, of course, is out of play. But that one looked like it was headed for the crossbar. Bosco tips it up to hit the football upright and out of play. So, of course, by rule, it'll be a corner kick to the Stars.
It bounced between the football upright, the crossbar, and then back into the field of play. So that was quite a crazy deflection there. But, yeah, on his toes, was ready for the shot, and kept it from going in the back of the net. That's his job, man.
Little arcade ball as Walsh will check to this one, looking for the short corner. Harrison will dump it back about 30 yards from goal. Secondary service coming. Southern States tries to head one on frame, and it goes just over the top once again off the football upright. And so to be out for a TSC goal kick. I believe it was Shepard got a forehead to it here for Southern States. So you kind of feel the attack being ratcheted up a little bit here for Southern States. Couple wrinkles here on those corners too, Trent, because the primary service hasn't seemed to work for them. Of course, they tried to go over the top a couple times, but it looks like it's just getting all the way through. And here retreating defensively, Walsh on the attack here for Southern States. He's hounded by Vanuk. A little stiff arm from Walsh with the right hand as he tries to shake the flag of the man free. A little left-footed service is going to get through. Secondary ball is going to be trapped. Falling off of his back foot, Shepard tries to curve it into the upper corner, but it goes over the top. And once again, able to survive as this one spills over the top as we approach minute number 38 here from Gene Cox Stadium. So Southern States, it seems, starting to turn up the offensive attack a little bit as we get into that danger zone, Trent, those last 8 minutes of the half. Of course, the last time these two teams played, there was only 1 goal scored, and Southern States got it right before halftime. It was a real backbreaker, really carried their momentum, and they did not need to do anything else in the second half at home. They hung on to that 1-0 advantage and ended up getting the full 3 points. As this one will be played on the far sideline and out of play as Murillo tries to keep it in. Of course, just on the defending third here. And looking for a ball boy to get some service over on the far side there. And this one will be rocking and rolling here for TSC. About 45 yards from goal. Zamora will get it going. Throw in over the top, looking for Cousins' side. This one's going to be chested down. Lee will poke this one free. Collected by Murillo. He's looking to turn. Looks zigging and zagging towards the center of the field. Looks to set up his own shot. Deflection. Oh, a dangerous one. I believe did it go off Zamora and then spill wide?
I couldn't tell. It bounced off of him, or maybe it was Vanuk, one of them, maybe both of them, and then it bounced out. So
spilled out of play there. And so it'll be a corner regardless. Doesn't really matter who it hit off of here, Trent.
facts.
And so it'll be an in-swinger. This time, Harrison, the first time he'll take it from the left side here, 39th minute. So we have 6 and change towards halftime. Sans Pierre and Reed in a battle there near post. They're looking to go back post for Shepard. He'll collect the second ball after Zamora heads it off, trying to cut back against the grain. Great slide by Zamora, all ball. Center, he wants to serve it through, a deflection, and Osgood will be up to it. Pressure from behind, slide from behind. Referee says play on.
And the entire crowd appealing for Joey P to get the ball on that great run he made. Unfortunately, Osgood couldn't pick him out.
Southern State's back on the attack now. Here they'll drop this one off. Carr on the ball. It'll be Danny Perez hounding him. They try to thread it through. Great read by Vanuk. And they'll be up to the task here defensively. Joey P, a little pressure on him, but he's able to clear it with a big left foot. Osgood in the air, gets chopped down. A forearm to the throat from Hakeem Reed. And TSC going to get this free kick right about midfield on top of that LCS logo as we come here in the 40th minute. So 5 and change. Probably not going to get a lot of stoppage time, Trent. We know it's a conservative, typically, refereeing staff here in the MPSL. So, you know, so far with no serious delays, you know, probably only seeing 1 minute and change, if anything, of significance here in the first half as we spill into minute 41. Chambers, he's about 58 yards from goal here. Service over the top, looking for Cousins' side. He's going to get the original deflection. Osgood puts it down. Size trying to put it back on his comfortable shooting foot. And this one's going to be spilled over the top. Desperation clearance for Southern States. But how about making something out of nothing? Side trying to bring it down. It hits off the defender's back. All of a sudden it's bouncing around. Side, Danny Perez, Corey Osgood all getting in the mix here. And it'll set up a nut corner here on the near side. So the lefty's going to give the signal out here, 41st minute. This will be an in-swinger. 3 men inside the 6-yard box. Zamora will be the fourth. 2 runners, both about the depth. They're going to go right at the keeper looking for Chambers. Secondary ball is going to be spilled out for Southern States. They got to be careful. This is a dangerous potential counterattacking element of the game, but they're able to win the next ball back and look for Vanuk. And it will be spilled out, and it looks like another. Is it a corner? Going to go out over the end line. So, yeah, they rule corner. 42nd minute. So a TSC opportunity to get this one going. Of course, you talk about set plays. They were huge last year. TSC, this is where you can capitalize. You're playing a defensive game so far. If you can get one of these to get in a crunch time, Chambers gets a forehead to it. He's falling back. That was a tough one. Just getting on the end of that, but that'll be over the line here for a Southern State's goal kick in the 42nd minute. Still not at zeros here from Gene Cox Stadium.
You know, I really feel like this is a very evenly matched game. Each team kind of has their waves of dominance, and currently TSC is on the up and has the momentum, so hopefully we can keep that through the end of the half, Jupe.
So Rajeda now in the box here, go across, give it to Reed as they cycle around the perimeter. Now Walsh coming all the way back to the midfield, and a very disappointed Mason Walsh, the former New Orleans man, notably frustrated as this one goes out of play. Vanuk with the throw-in will be right in front of the Southern States bench here to Danny Perez. Back to Vanuk. He's a natural lefty. Some service gets through to Cy. He's chopped down. Referee says play on. Service over to Murillo. They'll look in the counterattack, and this is what they do. You can see numbers being flooded forward. 6 Southern State Stars now on the attack. Make that 7 with a late arrival, but they'll look to collect, possess, and switch sides of the field here and regroup. Vanuk will win this. Hits him on the ear as he has some contact there, and Vanuk put in a warrior's effort so far here today. And that's a correct call. That's off of the side of Vanuk's head. Yeah, that's a Southern State's throw-in. Joey P. wants to get in on the chippy action defensively. Tries to thread this one through. Walsh with a couple of touches. Lee and Fontenot with a couple prods after it. Oh, look at Sands Robbins-Pierre with a nice step. A sliding effort, and Daunt gets taken down at the ankle. Referee says play on. Murillo spills this out wide. He's guarded by Zamora. Couple little step overs and a shot on frame. This one's going to be chested down. And it looks like a penalty kick to, he pointed at it. Is he going to hold it up? It's up to the assistant referee because it doesn't look like the assistant referee is buying it.
Cool.
So initially,
yeah, he called
the
it.
man in the middle pointed to the spot.
Center ref called it, but maybe the assistant ref's like, hey, dude, we got Ryan Don up there with a broken ankle, so maybe we'll just let that one go. He's talking to Chambers right now. We'll see what the call is. Looking good for TSC, though.
So it looks like a conference. This is a rare sequence. Typically, you don't see a conference after such a quick call towards the spot as they try to collect this one.
Oh.
So we'll see what the indication is. As he goes over the headset, has talked to the assistant referee. And Shepard standing at the spot. He's expecting to take a penalty. And a conference here, and Austin Lee
that is awesome.
lifts up his jersey. He's showing the referee the spot on his chest where he was hit in the chest. He's like, it wasn't my hand. I have the welt right here. It doesn't look like the referee's buying it. It looks like Thomas Shepard wants to take the penalty kick. Carr is coming in with some words of wisdom. Vanuk giving Shepard an earful. It's everybody hanging around the 12. Bosco here, and this is the exact same juncture as last time, right before halftime. 45th minute, TSC has now been, this is the 4th penalty kick. One in each game has been called against them so far, Trent. Murillo now holding the ball here for Southern States.
Ooh, Bosco coming out there. I'm loving this guy, dude. Look at
No
him.
shortage of intensity.
Oh,
Bosco
man.
limbering up, and he wants to give Murillo a little something to think about here in this penalty.
Loving all the antics, dude. Just a total head case. I love Bosco Perry, dude.
So Murillo, he's a right footer. At least that's what he took the last free kick with. So we'll see if he has a go. The last penalty kick went to Bosco's right, and he was up to the task. Can Bosco do it again here at the Gene? He's trying to stand tall as we go into stoppage time. Murillo for Southern State's trying to break the deadlock. He'll go left off the post and in. And that's just a beautifully taken penalty. Nothing you can do about that. And Southern State's on the board first, Trent. So a controversial penalty leads to the Southern State's goal. But once the call is made, all things considered, that's a pretty ball for Marie to put that away. But not what you want to see to end the half. A gut-wrencher here as we get into 1+ minute of stoppage time. And basically, they will do the kickoff here, and then the next long ball, they should just about call it, Trent. Like we said, staff that's probably not going to call a lot of stoppage time here, but an absolute heartbreaker. Handball called in the box.
We need VAR, Juke.
Hey, we do need VAR, man. Another tough one here for TSC, having to carry the burden. They say you get home field refereeing advantage, Trent, but that is definitely not the case here.
Not in this
For
league.
TSC. Brutal. Back-to-back games of brutal penalty kicks. But let's see how this tough TSC team responds heading into the locker room, as we're now in the 2nd minute of stoppage time. And I'm surprised that didn't do it. They let him play on. Some more wins it out of the air. Perez now on the counterattack. Tries to thread it through. Second ball. And this one's going to be poked free. And Lee going to get into that. Little jersey tug on him. They say play on. Perez wants service over the top. Looking for Cousin Sai. If he can chase it down and keep it in play. A shove of the back. And he keeps it in play, it seemed, as he hits it off of his heel. But he's checked to the turf. And it looks like the ball just did go over here, over the end line to our right. And it will be a goal kick here for Southern States. And you think this one would end it, Trent, as we're now in the 3rd minute of stoppage time for the first half.
You would think. It looks like he's... No, he still is not going to blow his whistle. I thought he was had his whistle to his mouth, but definitely not.
And that one hits off the back of Rabbins-Pierre's neck. A good aggressive effort, hit air. And this one looks like it's going on the counterattack here for TSC. Daunt with his head up, looking for options. It's going to be poked free. Perez will spill this one out to Zamora. And he gets chopped down, and free kick will be awarded to TSC. A little extracurricular as Perez takes a shot in the back here from Carr. And Zamora will take the free kick over on the far side here for TSC. Service over the top here for the lefty. Looking for Fontenot. Reed will win this one out of the air, spill it out for a throw-in. And I'm so surprised we're still going. This is the 4th minute of stoppage time. Lee trying to get a towering ball to the back post. Ryan Daunt. He's going to be undercut and goes to the turf. Spilled out, trying to go on the counterattack is Jorge. And the referee's continuing to let this one go on here in the 4th minute of stoppage time in the first half.
You know, Juve, I was thinking because we didn't have any yellow cards so far through the first half that, you know, it was probably going to be a little less chippy. But, I mean, there's plenty of action going on so far, man.
Yeah, lots of aggressiveness being played here. Harrison with a prodding attack. And, this is a out of place here formation for TSC. Luckily, Chambers is up to the task to dump this one out.
Watch check, still nothing.
5th minute of stoppage time in the first half. This is very surprising. Tried to thread it through to Shepard. And referee says play on now, looks at his watch as they play this one short. Here to Zamora. Back to Bosco. Murillo in pursuit here. And Perry will spill it out. And finally a halftime whistle after 5 stoppage time minutes. So we'll go to the break. It's a goal here by Murillo. 45th minute and then some here for Southern States, giving them the 1-0 advantage at the break. So we're going to jump out here for a quick commercial break, catch our bath, and come right back here for some more TSC Live on 93.3 FM, Real Talk Radio here in the Big Bend. And then, of course, as you know, TLHsoccer.com on TSC's official webpage here. Come right on back after the quick break.
Getting back in the game, to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you about Marketable Sports app. What a great app. Players, coaches, agents, nil businesses all get on there, build their own profile. Players, upload your stats, highlight videos, everything that you can. It's a great recruiting tool for players. Coaches finding players, coaches needing agents. Marketable Sports, download the app today. Marketablesports.com. Check them out. Marketablesports.com.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Hey folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you about Marketable Sports app. What a great app. Players, coaches, agents, nil businesses all get on there, build their own profile. Players, upload your stats, highlight videos, everything that you can. It's a great recruiting tool for players. Coaches finding players, coaches needing agents. Marketable Sports, download the app today. Marketablesports.com. Check them out. Marketablesports.com.
Now they just got to create some opportunities in the second half. Here, get some scoring opportunities. Because what opportunities they have gotten in the first half are not bad opportunities. They just need to convert on one of them at some point.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you said, Joe, they were punching it through. You know, they were with them as far as on the attack, as far as the aggressiveness. Southern State's a lot of corners there, and it is kind of what we thought it would be, right? We see Southern States, they want to control possession. They want to have the ball at their feet as much as possible, and then they'll kind of pick and choose when they want to go after it, try to get TSC out of their positioning and try to get them uncomfortable and then go after it. And so we had a couple prodding efforts here for Southern States, but the large majority of their attacks was on the free kicks and the corner kicks that they had their best chances. It seemed, of course, a couple opportunities in open play, but that penalty kick, of course, I don't know if you said, did you see when Austin Lee picked up his jersey, Joe? He tried to show the referee, he's like, this is the welt that the ball, as it rocketed into my side. I didn't use my hands. I was tucking my hand behind it.
That's what makes it such a tough call. It's because, for one thing, it happens so fast. But number two, there should be evidence right there. If the player is showing you where the ball hit, that's not a handball.
There you go.
But that's okay.
Hey, that's the lumps you have to take, man.
Exactly. That's the pressure. Sometimes you're not going to get the call, but that's okay. Like I said, they're in this game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They're right there in the mix here, but this is almost identical, at least kind of game threat-wise, of how it went out the last time these two teams played. We talked about last time they came here, Southern States really controlled that game, the 3-0 game, right? But out in Hattiesburg, of course, the 1-0 victory, they notched a goal right before halftime, carried that momentum into the break, 45th minute, just like it was this time around. Murillo, 45th minute in a little bit of stoppage time, and able to cash it in. So how does TSC respond? We saw how they did it last week against Pensacola. They responded very well, offensive surge, went after it, got the draw. You talk about it. Can you hang with the best teams in this conference? If you are a playoff team, can you run with the big dogs? And I think as far as a game flow kind of sequence, yes, Southern States did what they wanted to do, but up until that penalty kick, which we'll have to go back and watch the tape to get official, but it looked like it hit the chest of Austin Lee, of course, to see the official ruling, but on the scoreboard up until that point, it's 0-0.
Well, one thing I think Tallahassee could do in the second half, when they get offense in the offensive zone, there's something you always hear with the major soccer leagues. It's called set pieces.
There you go.
Set up some offensive plays and put some offensive pressure on the other team. That could be critical in the second half for Tallahassee. Is what I call the set pieces. How effective are their set pieces going to be against a team like Southern States? They did have about one or two set pieces there in the first half that gave them at least a decent scoring opportunity, but I'd like to see a little more of that in the second half because I think that could be critical.
Absolutely. That's part of their aggressiveness in attacking and getting dangerous balls and dangerous runs and dangerous takes in the final third, which has been something that they've been pretty limited here in the first half. But, of course, when they do get those, they had a couple opportunities, a second wave on those corner kicks or long balls. And it seems that they're having a little more success with the long ball than what we thought they would have. Of course, you talk about these big center backs for Southern States, Reed, and, of course, Dadsy. He's on the bench so far to start this game, so he's not in there. But they're playing towards the angles, and they're finding gaps. But what I've been most impressed is the help side defense, swarming defense. If you get past the one guy, the next guy's ready to go. You saw it on this side. Vanuk, Fontenot coming back from the front line. Everybody getting a chip in, and you can see the frustration. It's almost like you kind of do like a boxing one in defense, right, for basketball, Joe. Walsh is getting isolated. Anytime he touches the ball, they have you see the shift. They want to shut down Walsh. They're like, if you're going to beat us, it's not going to be through number 11. And he is visibly frustrated out there on the field tonight, which I think is a win for TSC. That's what they want to do.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. For a basketball term, it's actually called a chaser and one.
The old chaser.
Where Tallahassee's got one or two people on Walsh, and they're kind of putting it in the hands of the other players to win. They don't want Walsh to beat them. One thing I have noticed in the first half is Tallahassee sending more people. When they've had the opportunities, they've sent more people. Remember the Jacksonville game a few weeks ago? They didn't really do that. Tonight, they're doing that. Here, that's what I like.
Going after it, man. Wave after wave.
Wave after wave. That's what I like. And I think you'll see more of that in the second half. But like I said, the biggest key to the second half is when Tallahassee gets on the offensive end, set pieces could be real big.
Absolutely. Of course, they're playing a scrappy defensive effort. So to your point, Joe, when they do have those opportunities to get guys forward on the offense, going for it and making it worth it. Absolutely. You talk about individual performances. I mean, you can basically put anybody on the back line in the list. Zamore having a fantastic effort. We shouted him out over on the left side. Chambers and Rabbins-Pierre, it seems like they're perennially going to get shouted out here, potential stars of the game. For us, obviously, Vinook putting in a Warriors effort over here on the right side. Joey P. in the defensive mid. He's getting in a lot of challenges. And these guys are just taking lumps, man.
And a lot of them have been clean.
Yeah, scrappy.
Clean.
It's
Good.
just physical. You can play, and that's kind of a misconception a lot of times. You can play a physical brand of soccer and still be clean. And that's what TSC likes to do. And you've got a lot of scrappy players. You see the Osgoods. You see the Joey P's. You see the Vinooks of the world getting after it. The Ryan Daunts with some added energy. And it's been really fun half so far with these guys. To get things going. As we approach, looks like we think we're trying to get this second half fired up here shortly. Of course, not seeing much of the visitors. We see some of their reserves out here warming up and doing some other things. Talking to a couple TSC guys, Justin June in the mix here. Got a team huddle. A Coach V, Coach Voiles in there, huddling the boys up here with Joey P. Vinooks and more Chambers. Lee and Daunt all in there. Of course, everybody getting their preparations going. Of course, 1-0 here at the halftime break. Southern State's with the advantage. It was a penalty kick in stoppage time of the first half. It was Murillo that put it in with the right foot off of the post. Full sprawling effort here for Bosco. But an unusual, Joe, TSC, 4 games, 4 penalty kicks called against them. 1 penalty kick they've had to defend in every single game this year.
You don't hear that very often.
No, you do not. And it is tough to keep the opponent out of the net every single week. So with that, we'll let you think on that during the break. So we're going to jump out here for a quick break of action. And then hopefully we get ready to go from half number 2. Andrew Jupe, Joe Ward, James Ward, Trenton Young here on the call here. TSC Live. Thank you for joining in. We'll come right back. Hopefully some second half action here on 93.3 Real Talk Radio. And, of course, streaming on TLHsoccerclub.com. Come right on back after the break.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Folks, Johnny Mays here to tell you about Marketable Sports app. What a great app. Players, coaches, agents, nil businesses all get on there, build their own profile. Players, upload your stats, highlight videos, everything that you can. It's a great recruiting tool for players. coaches finding players, coaches needing agents. Marketable Sports. Download the app today, marketablesports.com. Check them out, marketablesports.com.
Back in the game, to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer. Our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Welcome back to Tallahassee Soccer Club versus Southern State Stars. Second half about to get underway here currently. Scoreline is Southern State's 1, Tallahassee 0. They scored on a penalty kick there right at the end of the first half. And, yeah, ref called a handball in the box. We don't believe that that's what it was, but, hey, it stands. They got a goal, and we're moving on, aren't we, Jupe?
Got to keep on trucking, and we're off and rolling here. Trying to get it started here for the start of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. So Christian Vanuk wins the ball, heads it out of play. Falls over to number 3. That's Harrison. Going to toss it in here to 22. And they're going to filter it back around. No, they're not. They're going to go more direct. Going to take a very half-hearted shot there from outside of the box. And that goes out for a TSC goal kick. Bosco Perry collecting the ball. So hopefully we'll have another eventful first half. Looking like a full court press that they're rolling here. And Rabbins-Pierre with a bit of skill, just flicking the ball up over Mason Walsh. And from this vantage point, I thought he chipped it, but he just flicked it over him to himself and was playing it. And I don't know if they called foul or handball, but ref blew the whistle, and it's a free kick for Rabbins-Pierre. If the ball boy can get the ball to him. Something we've had a little bit of an issue with tonight, but hey, that's all right. They're just little fellas out there. They were out here at the start of the game for the player lineups. Bosco Perry.
Of course, the future, potentially, of TSC Trent. Of course, we got some little buddies here helping out with the ball boy duties here for TSC. And here we go. Southern State's on the attack, of course, in all red. They're going left to right here. Walsh trying to get a centering ball, scooped out the well by Chambers. Secondary ball won by TSC, as Daunt will spill this one out to Austin Lee. And he'll look to clear it up, able to keep it in play. Well done here, Fontenot. As, oh man, it looked like a wrestling move as Osgood gets chopped down, and then Reed comes over the top to finish the job to hit the sledgehammer here, Trent. And it'll be a TSC free kick here over on the far side.
A little NBA, a little UFC. We had that forearm to the neck earlier. Man, very physical match that we're having tonight, Andrew.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We get in here to the 48th minute, starting the second half, off and rolling. As you can see, Southern State's with the 1-0 advantage. Stoppage time, free kick, goal from the penalty spot is the difference. Murillo, the man to tuck it in. First half substitution at the break. Justin June now in to the bowl game here for TSC. He's going to slide into the midfield. As we have, of course, a couple of big boys, Chambers and Rabbins-Pierre going forward. June, some service here. The righty, it's going to be an in-swinger screamer. He gets into the middle of the box. This one's going to be spilled over the top. And it looks like Southern State's last two touch it. So throw in over on the far side. Looks like Chambers will set up for a big throw here in the 49th minute. It's going to get to the middle of the goal. This one's going to be run by Reed. Shepard tried to get that second wave here, and all over a full fist of jerseys. He's trying to rip down Vanuk. Had Adams. And some more over here on the near side, hounded by Murillo. And this one's going to be a throwback to Southern State. But looks like Stars got a little chippy pep talk here. Trying to match the intensity here that TSC brought here in the first half. Throw down, looking for Shepard. He'll catch this one in stride. Joey P. He'll try to contain him on the outside, looking for some service. And great job by Joey P. The ball was already over the end line before Shepard went ahead and served it. And so this will be out for a goal kick here for Bosco Perry as we get into the 50th minute here. So he's looking to send everybody up. Of course, June flooding forward over here on this left side. Falling in next to Osgood and Fontenot. They are up top on the front line. So it looks like you got June, Peralta, Daunt, Lee here in the midfield. Of course, Zamore, Chambers, Radmans, Pierre, Vanuk here on the back line. As TSC falls into a 4-4-2. Zamore looks like he gets hit in the back of the head here by Shepard. And Fontenot coming centrally here, trying to chest this one through to Osgood. Southern State's on the counterattack, has numbers, look like a handball, but they say play on. Zamore still down, holding his head. This one's played out to Shepard. Cuts it back on his left foot, looking for the back post, upper 90, as this one goes in here for the visitors. As Zamore still down on the field, holding his head, is finally able to get some medical attention as we go forward here after the goal. And that's disappointing, man. Talk about player safety and head injuries. And
clearly down on the ground holding his head. I mean, was down for over 30 seconds. Ref looked at him, didn't do anything, let the attack go on. So that's a shame.
So 50th minute here, Southern States puts it in. That's goal number 2 here for the visitors. I believe it was Shepard, the man to put it in, number 20. So once again, scored last year against TSC here at Gene Cox Stadium, doing so again here in 2022. And so Coach Bruno deservedly given the fourth official a complete earful. Zamore down on the ground, holding his head for an extended period of time. As the training staff also talking to the assistant referee, it's a shame because we saw 2 instances, one against Jacksonville, one against Pensacola, where a player was down and they held up play. You know, is allegedly a point of emphasis here for the National Premier Soccer League is to protect players. You know, they have the concussion substitution rule. Supposed to be another point of emphasis here is especially head injuries. Of course, nothing call here, so some animosity being played out here on the field. Some just complaints, but in 11-on-10 soccer, Southern State's able to put one in as they played on, and nothing you can do about that. But it was a good-looking finish. Of course, top right corner. There from the Stars as we kind of get played into a lull here. Zamore is still down. We're going to jump out here for a quick commercial break here for the broadcast here, TSC Live. Come right on back on the other side.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
Sure, if you just want to write Y or something. I'm going to come back. You're going to be muted when we're back. And we're back here from Gene Cox Stadium. Of course, we went away for injury timeout. Mike Zamore down for over 4 minutes, nursing a head injury. They said play on. Southern States put a second goal on 11-10 action as Zamore was down with a head injury. And so as we go back here, it's not a 2-goal deficit here for TSC. Of course, in the 54th minute of action here, as we're going, a slide by Vanuk over on the far side here for TSC. And the visitors, of course, up with 2-0. Of course, some celebrations after the goal here.
And I love that slide from Christian. I mean, They're getting away with murder, Southern States is. So he turns his head over his shoulder, waits till the player catches up, and then goes to the ground.
Service coming on the far side here for Southern States, looking for Shepard and Murillo on the far side here in the 54th minute. It's going to be dropped back here for Shepard as he does a overlap here, back heel to Murillo. It's going to be hounded by Justin June. It's going to be cleared out by Rabbins Pierre, but it's going to be locked in here on the fringe of the attack in third here for Southern States. And they try to spill it through to Murillo. And this is what Southern States wants to do, right? They get a 1 or 2 goal cushion, and then they'll kind of pass it around, and they're trying to verbally frustrate you. This is their game, and this is what they did to New Orleans. And they really just ended up pulling away against the Jesters here. So looking for a good TSC battle. Like we said, Trent, while we were gone during the break, we just got official notice. Joey P. and Bosco both picking up yellow cards. They were talking to the referee, trying to defend their team's honor and protect their left back, Zamor. And both awarded yellow cards during that sequence, during the intermission when we stepped away. So definitely a heated and definitely a frustrated here TSC in the 56-minute and beyond here from Gene Cox Stadium. So how do you respond here? What can TSC do? Because as it stands, Trent, you know, you hate to just think about it in black and white business terms, but you're starting to think about the table and trying to save that goal differential. Of course, currently sitting at -4 here. This would be 2 points through 4 games if results currently hold. So you got to start thinking about the big picture. This one dips in. Bosco, great positioning to save that one as they took a launcher from about 35 yards out. Bosco rocketed up. Osgood tries to win this one. This one is collected by Cousin Cy here on the offensive attacking front here for TSC. Spilled over to Joey P. Looking to get a hold of this one. Southern State's going to take it away and look to cycle around the back. Osgood, some pressure being put on here for the front man, as he's known to do here for TSC. And service over the top, looking here for Shepard. Bosco out of the box will chest this one down confidently and blast it out to the perimeter. And this one's going to be won back by Southern States. Tried a little overlap, and this one's going to be out of play here for a TSC throw. So 57th minute of action. Vinook will take this one and try to get us rolling here for TSC. As here the first time at home they've encountered a 2-goal deficit. Of course, coming into this match undefeated here at the Gene with 2 draws in the season against the 2 top teams in the table from last year, Jacksonville and Pensacola. Here versus the number 3 team from last year, currently sitting at 3rd in the table in 2022 as well. The reigning conference champions here, Southern States. We knew it was going to be a David and Goliath matchup. Hoping TSC can finish strong here. See what we can do, man. This is a team that can put some goals in. We've seen them hit a couple goals already this season. Of course, scored 2 in the second half against the Roots. So this is a team with some firepower. This is not out of reach yet. So don't go quitting on us. If you're at the stadium, please don't go home. There's still a lot of fight in these boys, and that's one thing. We have a blue-collar team here for TSC, but these guys have a lot of grit, a lot of heart. Zamor, this one is going to be a big switch that turned into a pseudo shot and was twisting. Made Grajeda think about that one for a little bit as this one goes spiraling over the top out for a Southern States goal kick.
Was just waiting on that one to drop in the back of the net, but it kept going.
That one caught a little bit of the wind gust, man.
Yeah,
Maybe that current that sailed through the storm earlier today lifted that one a little bit over the top. Here as we get into the 59th minute, Southern State's going to left to right on your screen or radio dial here. Of course, they are in all red, TSC in all gold. Geographically, the visitors going north to south. TSC, of course, the opposite, south to north. Secondary ball, Zamor, who's looked to be up and at him here. He had a fantastic first half and looks to have responded to the contact here after getting medical attention as Murillo tries to get around for the outside service towards the middle of the box and a short hop into Bosco. He'll look to throw this one out, wants to get ahead of it, and Zamora, a good slide, and it'll make Carr hit this one out of play here for Southern States. Or it looks like it deflected off of Zamora again, my mistake. This will be a throw for Marcano. He'll step in to take the throw here for the visitors. 59th minute of action. They'll go short. Cycle this one back around here to Jorge. Spilled out to the perimeter for Harrison. Looks like a new man in the contest. Hafeli, number 21 here for Southern States. Over on the right side, Fontenot. Bring this one down to Vanuk, to Joey P. A lot of one-time action. How about that little triangle over there on the right-hand side? As this one spilled out to Shepard. And Jorge will look to turn back around. Osgood in an aggressive stance. He's looking like he wants to go after this one. They'll drop it off to Reed. Joey P tries to pinch, but Reed able to get it out of the danger zone. So dropped on back, Justin June gives it to Chambers. He'll spill it over the top with the left foot. Osgood back to goal, chests it down. He's tumbling to the turf, and this is going to be run well by Ryan Daunt. Looking to go centrally here. Wisely turns back around to get to June. He tries to knife down the sideline, going to be taken away from Southern States. Close quarters down there on the near sideline. One man Walsh on the back post. Looking to send it. Secondary ball looking for Shepard, but June does well defensively to get in front of that one. It'll hit off of, I believe it's Marcano here near side for Southern States, and it will be a TSC goal kick coming out of the back here as we go into the 61st minute.
Looking for another big kick here from Bosco Perry to kickstart this counterattack here, or I should say this attack for TSC, and ball goes to Ryan Daunt.
It's Osgood there, and this one's second wave coming through. Austin Lee challenge here. Southern States will retain possession. They'll look to cycle around Osgood. Looks to go for a prodding attack, trying to look for a point of pressure. Size able to pick it out. Now an offensive spell. He looks, tries to get on his left foot, and just gets slung to the turf here. And Carr didn't even try to hide that one. That was a football tackle here. They had some spring games out. You saw Rickards, you saw Leon, you saw Childs, you saw Godby, you saw Wakulla High Schools come out here. And I think that tackle would have worked well here for the high school level with the boys coming out for some spring football over the last couple days. Of course, the Leon County Schools facility here being upkept. So how about that? This is the 7th game here in the last 3 days to be played at this facility. It used to be grassed up, and that thing would have been absolutely trashed, but the turf still looking pristine as we get into year 3 or 4 of this turf. I can't remember exactly. Chambers over top of the ball, looks for a nice little chip job, looking for Fontenot. Osgood also in the area. Murillo chops it out of the air. Chambers wants to have a go at it from 40 out, and this one's going to be spilled towards the sideline. Daunt will give chase. Oh, absolutely. Shot to the chest as Marcano trucks the youngster. And then a half-hearted effort to apologize as this one gets spilled out of play, but it looks like it'll be a free kick here for TSC. 63rd minute of action now. Joey P. over top of the ball as he looks for a readjustment. We'll ask for 10 yards, please.
Can we get it, please?
10 yards, please.
Can we walk over here and pace off 10 yards, please?
We'll back off. Yeah, that's about 6 or 7 right there as Joey P tries to set this one up.
Get it, Si.
The short ball is going to be scooped out here by Southern States. Pursuit there for Joey P and Fontenot. This one spilled out. Nice slide there for June. And it looks like it was already out of play at that point, so it's just a reinforcement slide here. So back to some more. Looking for some service over the top. He's looking for Chambers on the far side. Rajeda coming out to take this one out of the air. So minute 64 here. Trying to preserve is Grajeda, the 2-0 lead here for Southern State. Zamora winning out of the air. Nice square ball here to Joey P. He'll try to flick it onwards to Lee, but it'll be won back by Southern State and out of play. And Zamora will look to take the throw here. Substitute, another youngster coming onto the field, Kyle Otis, of course, recent graduate of Childs High School. Looks like he'll be flowing over to the right-hand side of the formation as we switch things around. Little change here, so it'll be Chambers. Looks like he's going to spill out to the outside back. Otis will fall into the midfield, and Joey P will be back on the back line. So it looks like it'll be Joey P and Rabbins Pierre, the center backs. And then it will be Chambers and Zamora on the outside. So what that does is it bumps Vanuk up into the midfield, and Otis will fall into the midfield as well. Look to add a little bit of energy, a little bit of pace here for TSC as we get into minute 65. It looks like potential cramping over here on the far side. I believe that's Jorge, number 22 for Southern States, trying to limber up over on the far side. Reed on top of it. Going to get things going here for Southern States. 35 yards from goal. Service centrally. Header down by Afeli. Will be right to Perry here. So another shot on target here for Southern States. Bosco up to the task. Tried to flick it on, was Osgood. This one's secondary ball going to be won by Dawn. Osgood's going to square it down to Vanuk, looking for some service from the lefty, looking for June down the near sideline here, but a little too hot to handle. Substitution coming in for Southern States. It's going to be Nicolo Lay, number 27. Cannot see, and he looks like he's coming in for Marcano, number 2, here on the near side. Of course, the visitors in no rush.
Time-wasting FC we're playing tonight, Jupe.
I mean, that's typical. Trent,
No,
anybody with a 2-0 lead is going to be milking it here.
No, they were doing it when it was nothing. Come on.
As this one gets off and rolling. That's one as old as time, Trent. And you can milk a lot of time. So obviously professionally with the strict substitution limits, but here in the MPSL, you can sub 7 times. You can run a lot of clock off with 7 substitutions. Flipped onward, looking here for Shepard. Joey P will look to collect, dump it over the top here in the offensive side of the field here for TSC. Southern State's able to save this one. Austin Lee tracking back. And they have Rabbins Pierre collecting this one here out of the back line. It'll be out for a Southern States throw here on the near side. Cycle this around, give this to the new substitute, Nicolo Lay. Here as we're in 67th minute now. Get rolling here. Walsh trying to do some work here on the right-hand side. He's going to give off, and June will poke this one free. Last touched here by Southern States. Adams gets a foot to it, so Vanuk will take the TSC throw here on the near side. Long throw looking for Osgood. Able to collect this one, keep it in play. Full ball's got to go over the line for it to be out of play. Hard to get over top of Reed. Sai's going to bring it down here, going centrally. Looking for a spill out to the perimeter. Chambers making a big run from the back line. Tries to get a centering ball. Can't get around it. And it twists over top of the net, but a good little offensive attack. Good read by Sai. And, man, Chambers has got to be dog-tired. He's made that run a couple times, Trent, rocketing all the way from the back line. But you'd like to see your outside back get forward, especially with the 2-goal deficit, to try to jumpstart here an offensive attack, because could have a strict change of what we are seeing. The game could change drastically, Trent, is what I'm trying to say as I fumble over my words here with another goal. Because if you get this one to 2-1, you know, you have a renewed energy, man. This one's back at it. You still got 20-plus minutes to take care of business. We've seen this team historically a great closing team. Does well, allows very few goals in the last 20 minutes of the contest. Scoring as well, keeping games close. We've seen it in all the matchups here this season.
They're 3 for 3 in games thus far this season with second-half goals. So still plenty of time for that to happen.
There you go. True.
There's a stat for you.
As Jorge's limping off here. Don't know if he'll come off the pitch, but he's walking very gingerly off a leg that looks to be wrapped up.
Yeah, nice little laugh, too.
And so could it be just a lockup there? Because he was stretching out on the sidelines. We thought that it was a cramp or something, but he's definitely got a wrap on that lower left leg right around that knee area. So we see if Southern States hits him with a substitution. One of the guys we talked about pregame, Dadsy, number 24, over at midfield, looking to come into the ball game. It looks like Jorge's night is over as he comes out of play. And he'll bring in number 24 for him. Of course, that's big Samuel Dadsy for Southern States. So in the 70th minute, we have a change of personnel. So 20 and change to go here for TSC. Gonna need 2 to get points here and stay undefeated at the Gene. What you got left in the tank? Does TFC have a second half goal or 2 in them? Walsh and Vanuk, they've been battling it all night long. Now Austin Lee wants to get in there. Justin June comes in for the tackle. Like you said, they've just been throwing bodies at Walsh all night long. Here it's going to be service over the top. Rabbins Pierre will tower this one and sky it up to Fontenot. He'll trace back and collect this one. The youngster Otis looks to serve over the top, and this one will be collected by Rajeda. Osgood will make sure he picks it up off the turf, and Rajeda, the former Chattanooga FC man, will play it on the turf and look to get it out of danger. He spills it over onto the far side here to Harrison. On over to the left side, coming here centrally to Carr for Southern States as they drift into the TSC zone. Now Walsh in the attacking third here for Southern States. Served on the ground. Joey P, a nice sprawling effort getting on top of that one. This one gets through, and Bosco had to save that one twice, but up to the task here in the 71st minute to keep it the margin at 2.
And those low shots on the ground, Jupe, are always the toughest for keepers to get all the way down and get to. But luckily, he was ready to react and parried it got it after the first parry the second time. So good stuff there from Bosco Perry.
There you go. So, of course, humidity setting in here. We had the rain earlier. We talked about it. And then humidity coming, too. So there's definitely some moisture down on the field here. Is Daunt chasing after that one. Grajeda popping off the line quickly. Of course, once again, just like New Orleans, not called upon a lot is Grajeda, but definitely quick to react. Jumpy keeper here that we've seen out here for Southern States. Service coming across. And it's going to be trapped by the substitute Lay, but the referee says out of play. Throw down the line for Osgood. Takes a shot to the back from the new substitute. And this one will be back to Southern States. So Lay will take this one. Back up and try to milk the clock a little bit here. Southern States cycles through some runs here. TSC trying to pinch this one off and try to apply a couple points of pressure. They want to get back on the ball here. Try to get some things offensively rolling. Fontenot with some pressure here. They'll spill it out to Murillo. Southern States now dribbling into the attacking third. Great win by Chambers there. Had to have it. And a sliding effort here. And it looks like they want to pull it back, and a yellow card here coming on Southern States. I believe it's Harrison, number 3, that picks up the yellow. And we got somebody warming up here, Trent, here for TSC.
Looks like Mateo Arbalaez?
Arbalaez.
Okay.
Of course, new man to the squad here this year. We were hoping to see him last week, but, of course, picking up a late injury here at practice. And so he's back healthy into the lineup. And Coach Bruno wants to get him in here for the last stretch. Typically, he's in the midfield. We'll see if what Bruno has for him. I mean, the attack is going to be the key, obviously, going forward here. That's not groundbreaking information. Justin June looking for some service. Right-footed in-swinger on the way here in the 73rd. Looking for that back 6-yard box. Grajeda wants to pop off the post. Daunt was in the area. Spills it out to Walsh on the throw. Looking for a through ball. The youngster Otis does well to cut that one off and spill it out here for a Southern States throw. So we'll look to recollect here. And this one's going to be thrown in. Good pressure here from TSC defensively. Austin Lee, Justin June. Great pursuit on the near side. Helped TSC win a throw. And here comes the season debut for Arbalaez. He'll come in for Osgood. So it looks like if it's a clean sub for substitution, he'll be going in up top. And so Arbalaez looks like he'll spill over to the right-hand side. So Cousin Sai will come off on the left here, up top here for TSC. So it looks like they'll try to connect up on the top line here for the Battle Lions.
What a pass.
Otis one here, ball to hand, and they'll call this one back for a free kick just on TSC's side of the field, just outside the center circle for the Battle Lions. It'll be Joey P., who's back in at left center back here ever since the defensive change. Rabbins Pear wants to go up top looking for Cousin Cy. Cousin Cy, man, he got caught in the forest there back with the trees. Reed and Dadsy, the big center backs here for Southern States. And Grajeda off the line and looks to roll it back into play here for the Stars. Vanuk in with the slide. Walsh coming back to the ball. Serves it across field. It goes from the defending half to the attacking half. Back service going across. Joey P. up to the task. They'll spill it out to the perimeter. Justin June giving nice chase here to try to keep it in play, but it'll be out for a Southern States throw. A little hold up here from the visitors. And it looks like they have a substitution. It looks like Thomas Shepard's going to be coming off into the game. Here is number 16, Cozine. John Cozine in for Southern States. So Walsh will be double teamed here in the corner, throwing bodies at Walsh all evening long. Not going to stop anytime soon. 76th minute here. Southern States throw in deep in TSC territory, about 10 yards from the goal line. Trying to thread this one through. Walsh in the danger zone. Deflected. Great sprawling effort by Robbins Pierre. He really ate the bullet on that one, and it just rolled into Bosco. He was able to pick it up off the turf, because if that one goes full strength, that may be number 3 here for Southern States, as this one spills across and out for a TSC goal kick. So it looks like Chambers is trying to call for a send over on that far side.
Yeah, but Nook's wide open over here.
As Arbeláez falling in place here for Chambers over on that right side. And it looks like Chambers trying to go in, at least temporarily, going into a attacking role, but he'll fall back into his right back positioning and send Arbeláez up forward. Reed will spill this one through. Otis will win the head ball here on the attempted through coming from Southern States. So spill this out to Lay. June, he'll try to contain. They'll cycle it back around. Dadsy with a touch here for the new substitute. Cy trying to poach one here for him. Arbeláez. Grajeda now with the service over the top. Chambers in good positioning. He'll head this one out of play, and it'll be for a Southern States throw-in over on the far side.
Jose Rodriguez coming on, it looks like, for Ryan Daunt. An incredible game from Ryan Daunt. Somebody who wasn't even supposed to be here this week, was supposed to have played his last game last week, and what a great impact he has made thus far tonight. Actually, excuse me, that's Austin Lee.
Austin Lee, 22, yep.
Forgive me. Great game from Austin Lee as well.
There you go. So this is going to be a season debut for Jose Rodriguez as far as seeing on-the-field action. Of course, the former Godby Cougar. I believe his senior year, Rodriguez put in 48 for the Cougars. Just an unreal season for Rodriguez. So he's definitely a goal scorer, somebody who's welcomed here as we need to try to dig ourselves out of this hole, try to carve into this goal differential situation we have. Want to keep on fighting here for TSC. Here in minute 78, 12 and change to go. We'll have a pretty heavy amount of stoppage time, given the Zamore injury, which lasted about 4.5 minutes, as well as the goal and as well as the extracurriculars. So you add it up, Trent, we could be in the neighborhood of 5-minute stoppage time here with all the delays and everything and the stoppages. Cousin Cy over on the far side. He is hounding Reed. Dump back to Grajeda. He'll spill it out over the top. Just wants to get it out of the danger zone. Out for a TSC throw on the fringe of the attack in third. 35 yards from goal over on the far side. Chambers will look to throw it in. Looking for a good run that he likes here for TSC, so he's giving it to Arbeláez. Southern States going to take this one away. Look to go on the counter. Rabbins Pierre looks to control this with the chest. Hounded defensively, just trying to stage off his attacker. Spill it out to Justin June. And it looks like the offside flag is up on June.
No, absolutely
Have to watch the
not.
delay in the broadcast here as we play it back. Southern State's trying to run a little offside trap on June. We'll have to check the replay on that one. Like we said, Trent, waiting for this VAR
Onside.
to come up here. As
Can't confirm.
Peralta heads up here, and this one's going to be kneed out of play. But it looks like June was caught offside here on the far side. It'll be spilled out for a Southern State's attack here. And I believe it's a corner here for the visitors. As Walsh will do his due diligence here to waste some time. And have somebody else come in and take the go-ahead here for the Stars. So the lefty Harrison looking to step in, and he'll deliver it. Towering ball to the backside all the way out through the 18. Able to be corralled just in front of the sideline. Tries a near post attack. And Perry with the save right on that near post. Able to keep it in play. And now he wants to launch the attack. A screamer coming to the TSC bench as June is checked into the boards here. And it'll get a little bit of a physical affair going here, but a little extra as June catches some fence here on the near side. And a yellow card awarded, deservedly so, to Lay here as the ball was already out of play. June not even making a play on the ball.
Wow.
And this is going to help the villainous status here for Southern States.
Wow. That was disgusting.
And so we'll go forward here in June. Also going to pick up a yellow card. So a yellow card both ways here for Southern States and TSC. So they'll trade it even here. Breaks it even in the book. And we saw them last week. 5 cards being flown out on TSC. And so we're starting to play catch up here in the second half. I think that's the 3rd yellow card on TSC here in half number 3.
Yeah, and rightfully so, June gets one. I understand where he's coming from. He wants to defend himself, but, that's what the ref's here to do. So, warranted, double yellow there. But hopefully we can keep this game a little clean here for the next 10, 20, 30 minutes, however long we have with stoppage. And get out of here without any injuries or anything else happening, man.
We keep this on rolling. Lay will get the throw in here. Resuming action here for the visitors. And it looks like the Southern States bench, I believe, has also picked up a yellow here in the process. So once again, the cards are a-flying here at Gene Cox Stadium. Heavy challenge. Looks like they're going to tag up Rodriguez for a foul here. And so the crowd coming out in full throat.
Oh, yeah.
And so it looks like some members of the TSC security team are making their way down towards the bench area to ensure that we get a clean finish to this match here. And so this is a dangerous free kick as we get back to talking about soccer. What we want to, 26 yards away from goal. We saw the class that Murillo had on that goal on the PK. This is a very similar spot to the area Pensacola had one last week. Wall will eat this one, and so it'll be out for a Southern States corner, but good positioning by the 4-man Wall over on the right side of the field there for TSC. It'll be a corner for the visitors, and it looks like Carr will go over to take this one. Walsh will hang out there for the short corner here for Southern States. Southern State's putting some numbers forward here. 5 in the box. 3 hanging back. Grajeda 35 yards away from goal. Service in, swinger, looking for the back of the 6-yard box. They let it go. And it looks like it'll be TSC ball way over by the corner. It looks like it'll be a throw-in just on the other side of the corner flag here. As we have substitution coming in, another one of the youngsters on the U19 team is Joey P. coming off. Good effort here for Joey P., but it's going to be Ethan Stewart, number 10. So we now have 3 of the TSC U19 players on the field. Daunt, Ethan Stewart, and, of course, Kyle Otis. All senior graduates here. As taken down is Fontenot. They say play on. And Rodriguez gets some touches here. This one's going to be spilled back to Otis. Southern State's looking to go on a counterattack. Dangerous position in here. Walsh all by his lonesome on the left-hand side. Southern State's, he puts it back towards the center of the pitch. Squared off to Murillo. He'll trap and rotate. Vanuk eats it. Great defensive play here by the Flagler man. Murillo back in possession. Drop it on off to Carr. Cycled it back around. Daunt will give chase to him and spill it out over on the far side. Here comes our Blaze. Then late here for TSC. Tries to thread it through. Spilled back around. Otis will clear here, but Southern State's going to lock it in as they have a 50-yard cap on the field right now, trying to keep everything on TSC's side of the field. Tried to thread it through, but Vanuk up to the task. Centering ball to Rodriguez, out to June. And he'll dump it all the way back to Rabbins-Pierre as we get into minute 86. Service over the top, and you see a lot of players slipping out on the field. The humidity that's settled in has made this turf very slick, which is typical here in the summers here for TSC in this facility. As we know, Trent done a number of events out here, various sports, and right around this time of night, we talk about it every single week. This is status quo here for the field conditions. They start to get very slick right around this time here in the summer. So once again, Carr out for a corner kick there for Southern States here in the 86th minute of action. As Walsh short, 4 stars in the box here for the visitors. Over the top, this one will be fielded in. Second ball, Bosco, right-handed punch will spill out a play. Needed to get to that one. That was going to be dangerous. Hafele, the second header, back across frame. He looked like he was looking over on the far side. It was Murillo, and then I believe it was Farrell. Who's over there on the other side? No, it was 16, my mistake. It was Cozine, one of the new substitutes here for Southern States. So Stars only putting 3 in the box, it looks like this time. As it looks like they have a substitution on the way. So Murillo's day will be done. Of course, scored in stoppage time in the first half. And he'll bring in Ferriol for Southern States. So he'll be a late arrival here. He'll be the 4th man coming in late to the scene here for Southern States into the box. Of course, 88th minute. And some physical altercations here, and this is just going to waste some time. Here's some arms and bodies getting tangled, as they have all night long. But it seems to always be a little more contact this time of night. The later stages of the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
Service. This one screams over the top. In play for a short amount of time here, and it'll be a goal kick out for TSC. As Bosco will take this one back to the 6-yard box. Look to give us a little release here in the 88th minute. Trying to march forward, see if TSC can carve one out. Ball over the top, looking for Stewart. Arbeláez giving chase to it. And it looks like Southern States is going to come up with it and able to spill it back into play. The youngster Otis able to corral it. Towering centering ball. Thought about giving it to June, but a little too much on that one. And Grajeda underneath of it here for Southern States. So he'll roll it out here. They'll play it short to Reed. Looking to go over the top. Otis going up against Walsh here. This will be Ferriol. Centering ball. Be poked free by Rodriguez. Southern States will give chase. June in the pursuit here. June and Lay. I don't think they'll have any friend requests or follows going on after this one, as this one spilled out of play and will be a Southern States throw-in. here on the near side. As we get into the waning moments of this one, 89th minute. Looks like some sort of cramp or injury, potentially cramps here near sideline. That's Dadsy, one of the new players into the formation, waves off the training staff.
Mike Zamore being a good ball boy, jogging down and getting the ball.
Helping the cause. That's the thing, man. We gotta force feed it to him here in the second half if we're trying to get one of these back.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure we pick up the pace. Here, we're going to have some stoppage time. If we press forward, definitely going to have a couple cracks at it. This one goes through. Stewart on the ball. Squares it off here for Chambers. Southern State's going to track it down. Here is Carr. Man pursuing that one.
Walsh with the ball, plays it offside.
So it'll be back to TSC here. Vanuk trying to get a ball in from the ball boys. Luckily, we got one from the other side. Zabasco will take things going here. Of course, we talk about the youth movement here, going on to the next level. Both of the youngsters signing deals, and even recently, Otis going to play at Clarkson next year. Of course, the child's senior. Stewart signing up, the Leon man. He'll be going out next year. And then, of course, Daunt, the other U19 player that's made an appearance here for the TSC senior team, he'll be headed into military service, we've been told. So, allegedly, he wasn't supposed to even be here tonight, but he was called back in, and evidently he bought himself some more time. So maybe he's got to leave, like, super early tomorrow, but he bought himself one more game. So, Daunt, a good effort here. Substitution coming for Southern State's Hayden into the game, out for Harrison. Harrison was sitting on yellow. Free kick taker for Southern States. He was heavily involved with them tonight. Defensively spilled out. Hefeli will head this one out of play. So a good throw opportunity. Talk about set pieces. Opportunities to get one back. You know, Joe talked about at halftime as we're here 2 minutes into stoppage time. We're hoping we'll get about 5. Grajeda looking to spill this one out. Southern State's on an adventurous little spring here. Tried to play it down the line, and it is a good pass to the Southern State's bench. Out for a TSC throw-in here on the near side. So June will look to get this thing going. And it looks like it was a deflection off of a TSC player. I must have missed that one. And this one's going to be, so that's my fault.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't ever see that one called.
No.
I haven't seen that one since middle school.
Yeah.
Throw in, picked up the foot, and so they're going to give it to TSC. Fontenot tries to square this one off. And this one will resume play. Try to get the through ball. And it's going to be Chambers pursuing Walsh. Watch the cutback. It's going in. Bosco with the big save. How about your man, Bosco Perry? A monster effort to keep it at 2.
Incredible stuff there.
And the new Southern States man still off of the score sheet here versus TSC. This one's going to be one back. Rodriguez, good pressure here. Otis. Of course, we talked about him signing up with Clarkson. He's going to give pursuit here near side to Adams. Southern States, foot on the gas still here in stoppage time. 3rd minute. Field goal is up and good. Ferriol towers it up into the uprights for the football field, but that's going to be a TSC goal kick here on the soccer pitch as we approach the 94th minute of action.
Little Bosco Perry chant from the Old Field Battalion a second ago. Love to hear it.
There you go. He's good, man. He's good.
Great.
We were looking for a keeper. That was a
one.
question mark here this season, and I think Bosco has sufficiently filled the void here for TSC. I mean, it's tough, dude, when you got to face a penalty kick every single game. 4 games,
No kidding.
4 penalty kicks against here for TSC. 1 in every match, 1 versus Jacksonville, 1 versus the Roots, 1 versus Pensacola, and 1 here versus Southern States. Now here's Cy in an offensive position. TSC trying to prod the defense here of Southern States, poked out of play by the new substitute Hayden. So side looking to get things rolling here as we're now 4 minutes deep in stoppage time. Short throw to Arbeláez, and this one's going to be spilled out. They say last touch by TSC. So Mateo's going to go chase this one down, and he wants to give it to Hayden to make sure he tries to speed this one up. See if TSC tries a little trap here as we're now into the 5th minute of stoppage time. Of course, try to get one. Like we said, goal differential is key. Even if you believe the result is off of the table here for TSC, the goal differential is going to come into play because currently as it stands, TSC sitting at goal differential -4. And so back with the throw-in over on the far side will be Chambers here for TSC. Throw-in's going to be cleared out by Hayden. Chambers will look to trap this one down, just wants to spill it out and give the offense a chance here to make a prodding attack. Otis will win the secondary ball. It's going to be a deflected around, a towering rocket there from Hefeli. We'll put it on the front line here. Robbins-Pierre trying to box out, and it's going to be Walsh on the touch now. It's going to be spilled out, and it's blocked well. Good secondary, good group defending here for TSC defensively, and able to keep Southern States, at least for the moment, out of the net here. So be out of play. Southern States, of course, in no rush. We're now in the 6th minute of stoppage time. And, of course, this is where our early predictions were 5 or 6. So we saw a big back end of stoppage time. I mean, realistically, with all the extra effort that's gone on here, we could see Trent realistically 8 or 9. But, of course, at the liberty of the referee. And so we've seen a little bit of everything here, so hard to predict which way they will go. But they did give a big cushion on the end of the first half. So if we base it off that, I don't think 9-10 is out of the question here, as ridiculous as that sounds. But, of course, the Zamora injury took up 4 plus minutes by itself. Of course, Mike, he's sitting up here on the bench. Looks well, looks engaged.
Yeah, he was down there a second ago getting that ball for the team. So, yeah, Mike's all right. We love to see it.
And looks like they're picking on the youngster here. Shove into the chest. Cozine throws some hands here with Kyle Otis, and they'll get Cozine in the book. And the Childs senior draws a card. Standing up for the players here. So it'll be a free kick here for TSC. Here's now, we're in the 7th minute of stoppage time. All right, looks like a throw-in. My mistake. So Vanuk will take this one. Arbeláez tried to flick it on here to Sai. It's going to be controlled by Southern States. Looking for some service out to the perimeter. Wants a centering ball. Oh, look at Bosco, full stretch. Fantastic save.
What a throw.
Throw on out to the top, and that looks like all she wrote. We go just over 7 minutes of stoppage time, and we have reached the final here from Gene Cox Stadium. 2-0 in favor of the visitors. So it was a better result than last year here at the Gene, so take some solace in that. And a hard-fought effort here for TSC. We knew they were going to be playing the underdog role, but unfortunately unable to keep the perfect streak alive here at the Gene. And, of course, a couple goals allowed. So still have yet to score against Southern States. And still looking for that first result. But I think a short-staffed TSC, Trent, put in a fantastic effort. And if you add Johnny, if you add Bennett Mitchell, if you add Drew Daunt to this equation, when we go back to Hattiesburg, I think we could give them another ball game. And they're really going to have to earn that one. But I think a Warriors effort here for TSC. Given those 3 injuries coming in last minute.
Absolutely, Jube. I don't want to say that's a completely different team because, you know, this team that played tonight fought really hard, and a lot of these players will be starting with those starters back, Johnny, Bennett Mitchell, all those guys, Daunt. But, Yeah, man. I mean, we luckily got Ryan Daunt back for another game, and he played really well. And honestly, man, up until that penalty, it was neck and neck. I mean, at each possession, it seemed like it was just back and forth, counterattack after counter. One team would dominate 5 or 10 minutes, and then it would switch. Nobody really had momentum. So it was a really great game. But yeah, you get Johnny Fitzgerald back in this midfield, he can set everybody up a little bit better. Send some balls to Cousin Cy out wide or over top, and yeah, man, it'll be scary to see what we're going to do once we get back out there. So 2-0's tough, but I'm still proud of the way the boys played tonight, Jupe, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you got to give credit to everybody who stepped on the field tonight. You saw it. You saw the intensity. You saw the fire. You saw the passion. TSC knew what was expected tonight, what they had to do, what they needed to do.
For sure.
And so they gave a Warriors effort. And, of course, Southern State's coming out on top. Of course, the penalty, unfortunate. The second goal, also unfortunate, Trent. But, of course, these are some positives you can take away from. And you talk about getting the reinforcements. Hopefully everybody's good and healthy when they come back around and have to go to Hattiesburg here. As we want to put a bow on this one for our radio audience. We know we're coming up on 9 o'clock, which is our threshold here. But thank you. If you're listening on terrestrial radio, we appreciate you coming in here to the TSC live broadcast here on 93.3 Real Talk Radio. So thank you to John and the staff of Real Talk Radio coming in aboard and partnering up with us for the 2022 season. So if you're on radio, we say sayonara. And as for our streaming audience, we have no time limitations. So we can go on as long as we theoretically want it. Now, they will shut off the lights, but they don't shut off the power and the internet. So in theory, we could essentially go forever. But, of course, I know you guys probably want to get home and everything.
Yeah, I got golf to watch in the morning, man.
There you go. But let's give a congratulatory. I'm talking about Bosco Perry, Danny Perez, Mike Zamore, Mateo Arbeláez, Jack Chambers, San Robbins Pierre, Ethan Stewart, Cousin Cy Fontenot, Ryan Daunt, Corey Osgood, Joey Peralta, Kyle Otis, Justin June, Adrian Perez. Even though he didn't get in the action, he kept the intensity going on the bench. Christian Vanuck, Jose Rodriguez, his first action of the season here for TSC. Austin Lee, and, of course, Tyler Sloan in there on the bench as well. You got to give the love to the whole TSC staff. Thank you, Coach Bruno. Thank you, Coach Rico. Thank you, Coach V, all others on the TSC staff. They knew it was going to be a tough go of it, but they gave it the best, and they gave it a Warriors effort, man.
Absolutely. I mean, it's tough the way that shakes out, a penalty kick, and then you and I both felt that advantage should have been played there with Zamore, especially with a head injury, and how important it is to keep players' health and in check, man. And you can't just let a hit to the head go unnoticed, man. You got to stop play. You got to hold that up. So real tough, and that's where the goal came from. But Tallahassee played a good game. We had a few chances that were real close there. They had a really good keeper there for Southern States. But yeah, Jupe, I'm proud of the boys. I'm happy with the way everything shook out. And like you said earlier, if we had Bennett Mitchell, if we got Johnny, who knows how this game goes, man. And I don't want to take anything away from anybody who played tonight, but yeah, still we weren't at full strength, so it's got to count for something.
Absolutely. Yeah, not to make excuses, but just a positivity, Trent, like you said, and this will be a springboard one because we got to play these guys again, or we're going to get to play these guys again out in Hattiesburg. We gave them a tough contest last year. It was only 1-0, but it'll be a great one to go here. So what I'm going to do is let's hand it off. I know Joe wants to spill some numbers here, Trent. So give us some post-game observations. How's things going on the field for us as I transition and I give my headset to Joe real quick?
For sure. All right, so currently we have TSC and Southern States, everybody kind of just stretching out, having a little team huddle after the game. Coach Bruno talking with Coach Rico, just trying to figure out where they're going to go from here. This is a very tough point in the season. You play 4 matches thus far, 2 points, 2 draws, 2 losses. So tough. But, Joe, my main man on the stats, what'd you see for us tonight?
Well, first off, Southern States outshot Tallahassee 13-2 tonight. Here, fouls was 12-8 here, but there could have been a whole lot more. I had at least 5 yellow cards tonight.
Who had the 12? Tallahassee?
Southern State.
Southern State's had 12 and Tallahassee had 8. Okay.
Corner kicks, Southern State's 13-6, but they were down on the offensive end a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, throw-ins was a wash, 33-33.
Okay.
Here, free kicks, Tallahassee had 14-9.
14-9 free kicks.
And goal kicks was 14-6 Tallahassee.
Yeah, you don't want to have the goal kick stat, but we'll take the other ones. The throw-ins canceled out and everything, but yeah, that's our tale of the tape. So those are the numbers, Joe. What did you see? You said you counted 5 yellow cards. I mean, did you think this game was too chippy? I mean, what was your feel?
It got a little chippy there at times in the second half. I think a little frustration here. Don't let the score fool you. Tallahassee played better than what that score indicated.
Absolutely agree.
The only difference was, like I said, 2 shots on goal. That's not going to get it done.
No, you definitely got to get more. In the last game we had against Jacksonville here, or I guess 2 games ago now, we had 2 shots on goal, ended up with 2 goals, and sometimes it works out like that, but the more the better in that. You kind of want to play the number game, and definitely better to have better odds there. But 2 shots as opposed to, again, how many for Southern
13.
States? 13 for Southern States. That's
But this is
tough.
a good team.
They are a great team. I mean, they won the conference last year, Joe. This was a team that went up and they advanced several rounds in the NPSL League tournament, and they were able to actually play the Birmingham Legion, who are a phenomenal team, and they did lose to them about a month or 2 ago, 3-1. But still, to play a team as such a high caliber as Birmingham really goes and shows as a testament.
And one thing is, I overheard what y'all was saying. I agreed 110%. Play should have stopped with when the Tallahassee player was injured. I kept waiting for the whistle to go off, and whistle never went off. They just kept playing.
Yeah, that was tough, and that was really kind of the difference, because we've seen Tallahassee come back from 1-goal differences. We'll come back and we'll tie in the second half, or we'll come back and get 2 in the second half and overcome and go on for a win. But yeah, very tough there with that one. So other than that, though, I mean, it was a very even match, I felt. Really just those 2 instances of play. And that's really the difference maker, I think, is the penalty kick and then the Mike Zamore goal, or the one that Mike was responsible for, if you will. It was on his side. He was obviously down. But anyhow, good stuff from TSC tonight. Great game from Southern States. I mean, they definitely show why they're at the top of this league and why they belong, beating Jacksonville and going up and playing the Birmingham Legion. So good stuff here for Southern States. Hopefully Tallahassee can figure it out a little bit better next time. But I really like the possession they play with. I mean, we're always a high-intensity, high-grit football club, but it's real good stuff here from Tallahassee. And you don't want to hang your head after this. It's tough when you lose 2-0 at home, but, I mean, pound for pound, I think Tallahassee's right there with everybody in the league. I mean, we tied Pensacola, we tied Jacksonville, and now we're hanging right here with Southern States. We could have tied with them tonight. So.
Absolutely. We're going to try something a little different. We're trying to get the president on the phone here, so bear with us.
Uh-oh. VIP phone call.
Chris, can you hear us, my man?
I can.
Okay, we can hear you.
All right.
Fantastic. Awesome. So for those of you who are just punching in or hanging around for the postgame, we're joined by club president here, Chris Petley. Of course, Chris, we wish you well, man. Obviously, top priority. How's the health, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm still fighting through some health issues. Missed my first home game ever this evening, but the positive is I got to sit and watch your guys' live stream, and it was pretty amazing, man. I've told you all you're the best in the business, but it's just certified again tonight by watching what you guys put out there. It's pretty amazing to watch what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Well, talk to us about the action here, Chris. So obviously you were tuned in. Obviously there isn't more of a diehard in the book here for TSC. Obviously, president, this is your brainchild. This is your, I don't want to say love affair, because this is a family-friendly club, Chris. So that's dangerous territory. So
we'll just call it an obsession.
An obsession, a passion. because passions are
Passion.
good, right? So, Chris, obviously passionate beyond anything here for this club. What did you think of the effort against Southern States, who we know is probably, arguably, the most talented team here in the conference?
Yeah, I think our guys went toe-to-toe with them. They're a professional team with professional players, and as you guys highlighted, we had 3 current seniors on the field. We had folks that live here, work here, play here. It's exactly why we built this team in the first place, is to have local guys be able to go out there and compete at the highest level against professional soccer players from Southern Stars. That's exactly what we wanted, and we went toe-to-toe tonight. I'm not going to get in a conversation about calls here or there on the field, but, a couple things go different ways, and it's a different result. But I'm very, very proud of our guys on the field. But more importantly, and not more, but just as important, we had the off-field crew tonight has really just put in just a yeoman's work. A lot of our board members, including myself, were not at the game tonight. A lot of our ticketing staff volunteers were not at the game tonight, and a very small crew was able to put on the whole event tonight, led by Brett Edson and Casey Domack. So, they don't always get shout outs, and I want to make sure we recognize, what it took for the game to actually get put on tonight. This week was a heck of a week, and it just continued to have us adapt with the changing of the lineup this morning when some of our players got ill. We are hoping for some good news with Adrian, who got injured in the first couple minutes of the game. We're a little concerned, and actually we're really concerned, but we'll be looking to see what that turns out like for Adrian moving forward. But we're definitely proud of the guys for the work they put in, proud of the team for everything they did off the field tonight to put the game on in the first place.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to give credit to those people. Like you said, Chris, the people who don't get enough credit, who do so much around this squad. It was an all-hands-on-deck effort, like you said. And it was cool to meet some of the staff you don't necessarily meet on the week-to-week basis, Chris. But, let's talk about the just craziness of it. We talked about it. Chris, are you guys going to get a penalty against in every single game? Four
in a row.
Yeah.
I think it's like that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. Someone somewhere hitting a button on us, and I don't know what we did. I mean, we got to stop that because I don't know that there are actual penalties, but somebody's awarding them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So a tough one. Obviously, Bosco almost getting a hand to it, but perfectly placed in the first one as well as the second. But the defensive line and the defensive scheme, Chris, from your point of view, I mean, the engine or the gasoline that fueled the fire from Southern States, of course, based off the New Orleans game last week, was, number 11 down the wing here. And it looks like TSC was just throwing wave after wave against him and kept him off the score sheet, but really visibly frustrated him. But a gutsy effort. Talk about the gut and the courage of this team, because you saw everybody. We see so many players limping off the field right now, Chris, as we can't see it in our shot right now, but just a warrior's effort by your guys. Does that make you proud? And what are your thoughts on kind of the effort given out here for TSC tonight?
Yeah, number 11 was a very, very talented player. You could see that last week, see that this week. I think we saw what they did in the air last week as well. And you got to, Reed in the back line, just a towering center back. The guys knew what they were in for tonight. And they rose to the challenge, every one of them. I thought Mike Zamore's first half was just really one of the best 45 minutes he's played for us. Mm-hmm. Not diminishing his second half, but, he really stood out in that first half. Christian, obviously, and I think Joe Peralta just continues to show up, right? The leader that he is. He probably played 3 different positions tonight, as you guys said. He moved around the field, and he was feisty, and he was just really leading the team. And it's great because the guys play for each other, right? I mean, we've been working now since early April, late March. We got started a lot earlier than other teams in the country, so we've been together a little longer, and the guys really stand up and play for each other and play for the city, and it shows out there when we're up against, maybe on paper, more talented guys, obviously professionals who get do this for a living, and we can put a result and just play them toe to toe. It's great, man. I'm very proud of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, fantastic effort from the boys here tonight, and both the goals just really unfortunate here. Still a shot at taking the trip out there to Hattiesburg here, Chris, to get back on them. How does this performance make you feel about going forward to the away game here coming up in, I believe it's the later half of June?
June 11th, I think we head to Hattiesburg. But, I mean, still have two really, really big games at home here at Gene Cox with Florida Roots coming to town next week, and then the New Orleans Jesters coming on the June 4th. So, I mean, there's still a ton to play for. As we can see every week, one team, you never know who's going to win. I mean, really, in this conference right now, I think it's very tight. No one's going to pull away as folks thought like they did last year. So still a ton to play for. We're 4 games into a 12-game season. So just absolutely all in front of us. And we're excited. There'll be turnover, like you guys keep talking about. I think you mentioned Ryan. Still not really sure when Ryan's leaving. We hope he doesn't leave till June. And he continues to stay healthy and enjoy his last couple of days before he heads off to serve our country. And we'll get some other folks back, but it's part of the attrition of it all. When you get injuries and local club and guys have to go live their lives, like you were talking about a couple times, weddings and birthdays and other family events. And it's just part of it, right? That's why we continue to build and recruit players to our team so that we can build through the attrition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep the train on rolling, keeping it going to the goal, Chris. So we appreciate you calling in, man. We don't want to cut you short. So
no, man,
open mic. You got anything else that you want to talk about, or any reflections, or any just kind of, obviously so much we could get into, right? And of course the loss is still fresh right now. But any other thoughts from you, club president here, Chris Petley, calling in here to the post-match show?
No, just again to reiterate the awesome professional job that you guys put on, and you guys are setting the tone for lower division soccer throughout the country. And you guys should be proud of the product that you're putting out, and hopefully we'll attract some continue to grow the eyes that are watching our streams. And again, the shout out to the volunteers behind the scenes that help put these games on every day, every weekend. So thank you all, and we hope to see everyone at the field next Saturday, 7 p.m. I think we welcome in the Florida Roots for a must-win game in the 850 Cup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we appreciate it, Chris, and thank you for tuning in and giving us a call here. This is a fun little experiment, man, but we hoping you're praying you feel better, man, and we're giving you the best. And thanks for coming aboard and watching with us here for the TSC Live here on Real Talk Radio, TLHsoccer.com, and, of course, the Tallahassee Soccer Club YouTube, of course. This is a hometown local radio broadcast produced by TSC. And so, of course, thank you for everybody tuning in, and we will see you next week for the Florida Roots here at home. We hope to see you at the Gene Cox Stadium here, 7 p.m. We'll get things rocking and rolling. Trent, so obviously we had the opportunity to talk to the Prez, give some thoughts. He pretty much took all the sentiments I was going to talk about, man. He summed it up very well, as he aptly does on the regular. But anything else before we put a bow on this one? Because you talk about it, obviously the wound is still fresh, man, but seeing it in the frame of what this league is and what the boys put on the field, to me, I can still leave with some positivity, head held high. They give a great effort out here tonight.
Absolutely, Jupe. And honestly, I mean, I can too. Every time we come out here, win, draw, loss, this team built by Petley, built by the board, built by the city, for the city, it's just remarkable every time you come out here and you get to see this product, these citizens, these regular people, just coming out here and putting it all on the line and fighting tooth and nail to defend this city and defend Gene Cox Stadium, man. So, it's tough. We always want to get wins in every game, in every sport that you play. Anytime you're in a competition, you want to come out successful. But, you learn a lot from your losses, and that's something that I know that Josh Bruno and the boys are going to take from everything. And, something we can even take from not having Chris Petley, man. That's a huge loss, and we certainly miss that guy around here. So just want to thank him for all of his kind words. Really do appreciate it, and it goes a long way. And, yeah, we're in it for the long haul with you, Petley. So good luck getting rid of us. Me and Jupe are going to be here calling these games for a while. So, I'm just thankful that we get the opportunity to come out here and do this every week, man.
Absolutely fantastic. So we'll put a bow on it. Put a bow on it. You can tell it's getting late. Of course, Southern State's prevailing 2-0 over here against TSC. Like we said, come on back here. If you can't join us in person down here at Gamecock Stadium, we'll be back on the airwaves, tlhsoccer.com, Tallahassee Soccer Club YouTube, or if you're in the Big Bend area of South Georgia or North Florida, tune into 93.3 Real Talk Radio, our new radio partners here this year. But for all the staff we had out here tonight, James Ward, Joe Ward, Trenton Young, and Andrew Jupe, thank you for coming aboard with us. Have a great rest of your day.